season 4, and yeah, we all want to see Benji do well. The thing is, they have been doing well. I mean, only 4 games is a small sample. In honest truth, when we're trying to evaluate, I was like, okay, I mean, they had center position, they're doing really well. Maybe they kind of get swallowed by a rotation going to zone 5, but still, these are one of the trios that they clean up a couple of things. I think they're gonna have a really good day 2.
I would say our favorite item, right, of the season. It's been so cool to watch people rotate with it, go for crazy plays as well, and some of those qualifier rounds. It's a nice clutch when it's needed, but that Sniper 2 in Benji's inventory, that can do a lot of damage.
You have to highlight for anyone some Archer using that and playing it for surviving. Oh, so good. It's on the Evan competitive. You're welcome, Evan competitive.
Definitely, so many good plays, so many highlights. Right now, the focus for all these players, even if they watched yesterday, is just surviving this crazy, weird freeze in time. There's so many different here in Corny complexes. I don't think they assumed the zone would go all the way towards this east side on zone number 2. So this next rotation is going to be sticky for a lot. You got to get past this river, there's a high point of elevation, this bridge, and bridges are so hard to cross in finals lobby. Someone always ends up going down. Red Rush map the exteriors. I wonder what they do here.
Yeah, definitely as well. You talk about launchpad. The permapad out there in the dockside dish here is going to be in play, and also those ridges, those mountain range of the the blue antenna from the dockside going all the way to where the gas station is. All that's going to be available, so it's going to be interesting when we get to in game.
One big thing about the mid game, which we're about to dive into, is kind of the system that's in place to get teams active to actually make competitive interesting in a sense. It's called Storm Surge. So basically, you have to deal enough damage, but also server starts to do damage. You have to be at a certain threshold above other teams. You want to make sure right now in the second zone, where the server wants to make sure there's going to be about 70 people alive. We have 90. So, 20 are going to have to go down if you don't have enough damage. You're going to start getting sniped. Here we go. Mr. Savage, this trio, 160 below. That might just fix itself because sometimes it takes a little bit to update, but it looks like it's staying permanent at 160 below. There it is. 351. Man, this lobby's really stacked if it took that long to update. So 90 players. 20 minutes to go down. They're already above by 350 damage. Jerky might not be as lucky below. Many of the trios might get desperate. Fights break out.
Taking the fight to Malauka, that is that happened right in the tail end of like game 3 into 4. But I would agree with you. Savage doing really well, solving the Storm Surge issue. Remember, at the very outset, game 1, they were having those struggles. They split that steamy stacks here. It looks like they're going to have a big struggle right in front of them. It is the defending MSCS champion, Jerky, Trulix, and Queasy here to bring the fight. This is a prime real estate Storm Surge area, and they want a piece of it.
Yeah, look at the difference between two teams. Two Savage, Upside, and Drita instantly turtle into metal builds. Meanwhile, Trulix, Squeeze, they're looking for ways to find any type of, empty holes inside the space, any way that they can actually get some free damage. These guys are going to turtle really, really hard and not let these guys in.
This is going to be a very important moment. This is literally a battle that was happening from the previous season. That's first and second place. They just hit me right then and there. The scrum is still happening. So that is what's so exciting to see them go at it. Oh my goodness, a very exciting team being infected by Storm Surge. It's Fasroki, Void, and Karma. They were just being the thorns of the lobby here, and now Karma is going to have to do something here just to get any kind of points here, because placement points have not been doled out here. This is one of the hottest teams of day 1. Definitely this would be a huge cooldown for them, but look at the box fighting as we get an overhead look at what is happening here, like what Karma is dealing that's right behind them. Ingra, who got knocked previously at the aftermath, is still wounded here in this fight. We have Fleck and Doku and Bitfrost, or Kumo, coming all the way from Coral Castle here as well. This is nasty, and this is all the result of Storm Surge.
Yeah, these teams not doing enough damage. As a result, they're getting punished by the lightning. And unfortunately, a lot of these teams are endgame clutch trios. Flecken included, and wow, Dog goes out. Mappy in front, they seem to be good for now, but Flecken needs to find some damage. He has a few minis to tank this, but 7 people need to go down.
Queasy's trio got 2 knocks on Savage's trio. I gotta definitely keep an eye on that in the feed, because that's gonna be, wow, for Savage, day 2 is where they slowed down last season championship.
Yeah, they had a very nice leg up in that last season too. This time they're in 5th place overall for Flecken, though. The POV we're watching right now. This is just trouble. And Storm Surge, it's still just raining down in front of 3 different people by himself. Still hasn't taken any player damage just yet, but that'll change in a second.
Da, gata, a revenit.
All the teams rotating over from the west coast are dealing with all these issues of that Mac pull and another red rush. Mysterious has gone down. It's up to Mappy. He has a purple pump. Yes. Able to use that power there and pick up his teammate. Trio is going to be able to vibe.
Zandy, da, e finale.
Oh no.
Da, mă, da, e finalul, trebuie să-l vedem dacă joacă. Că ăsta e un meci. Zandy n-are meci, dacă nu l-ai văzut până acum.
That's a lesson right there in the alphabet, and the lesson is right here. Noah Riley is a beast when he's sitting outside of your box.
I'm wondering why Noah Riley's even here. Looks like him. Aqua Vidil might have some trouble. It might be. I mean, he's way deep in zone. Color nearby, so looks like he forces Mappy to use one of his own launch pads. He's gonna just as a solo. Look at everyone else's arrows inside the circle. They're all facing here. Like which person they can kick out of the sky. Ref's guard is back up with Savage and Andretta. They're looking good. No idea what happened to Trulex, Squeezy, or Jerky. It seems like these builds were kind of overbuilt. In the area, maybe some revenge. Yeah, I see a lot of elims on the trio. They must have got knocked out.
Wow. Defending champion going down to second place. Revenge is served on the dish. Cold. And that was very cold here. Now we're going to take a look at the mini map. I just want to point this out, folks. That is the dockside dish. That is one of the hottest spots this season. So many trios are already surrounding that purple pad, kind of like jitters being about to be served. And they got the plates out because they want to be fed. And that's going to be the kind of like a serving of a new zone. That's what they want, that new hot zone. They want to be safe.
Am 4% pe live.
Because there's way too many teams on the left side right now. The right is completely empty. Just look at this. Legends side by side. Andy, the winners from the reboot round. Also doing pretty well on day 1. Amplify 80 and Matt, so they're looking for control once again. 22 teams entering a zone that actually favors a majority of them. So the right side will now move all the way over to the left. All of these guys a little bit, but still Amplify is not in yet. They'll have to edge in just slightly. 80 has any damage done here. But they're going to be fine as they move early in rotation. On the same zone as kind of setting Kimmy and a lot of other trios on their side. They have to just rebuild, make sure they can farm up as well. Crash right above him. 80 now. These guys were all on the same layer before, but now because of this big mountain in the way, it's going to change everything about this next endgame.
Here we go. Like I said, a lot of people great place on resources here. Elder, Tosa, and Rotary. No surprise teams that kind of stuck around in the middle of the board now. In the against the Loot Boys. Trying to go for those quick hits. Yes, to get the 50 tag. Not as much power as he wanted to hit with that one. With that shotgun blast. Gonna be satisfied with that. Rotary gonna hunker down here. Use that chug cannon replenish stamina. Let's see if he's gonna be over the threshold for Storm.
Below.
Have to go down.
Below.
Yes, yes. So that just shows you that 13 person, that is the threshold. So there are a lot of people are gonna be teetering back and forth on that Storm Surge line.
And now if you look at the mini-map, oh no, going down, you can see the difference between having a poor position and a rich one. When you're kind of in a poor spot, you don't have any choices. You kind of work or just start dueling side by side. When you're rich, on top of this mountain, you have all the options available. You can choose which one you can have your hand at something. This is just two very different sides.
Listen to the action that's happening right now. It's causing the radical bullets colliding against metal builds, colliding against brick. And look at this, Stormy right gets knocked. That is going to be our first place already in a desperate situation. And look at there's so many people on this live trial. Zone 5 has been revealed, the half in and half out, and basically 90% of our lobby has to move out.
And the Rich still keep eating.
Dacă era Zambia acolo. Era Zambia ăla. Era teammate-ul. Da, era teammate-ul lui Gambit Tusi, ia uite-l pe Tusi. Uite Gambit Tusi. Uite pe Tusi. Tusi câștigă, mă. Tusi câștigă. După cum joacă. Tusi.
This is what's happening here. It is the game one of day 2.
El câștigă, dar nu vreau să câștige, dar el cred că câștigă, cred. Uite și-a pus pe
So that's going to be a prime opportunity for Curiosity to put some distance on the people that are nipping at his ankles. Take a shot at the people gliding over as there the movement is happening on the bottom right. Using the triple spray. Did they get the elimination there? Yes, they do on Carmi. This is some great work for Cami State T-Core. Looking to
Mamă, că ți-ți băvără, bă. Câți playeri?
Mamă, tu vei?
Era Fortnite. Da, 14.99. Bără. Da, eu arăt așa. Îmi pun asta meu.
Dacă te voltezi ca lumea.
The majority of the lobby will have a little bit of a taste of how it is to be rich. They'll be able to be right on that zone line and keep moving. If it goes towards the right though, we go up another mountain.
Reason is Mr. Savage High. But that is not a Savage High. It's not a Savage High. What the fuck?
Already to where the zone pulls. It's right and towards the south. Worst case scenario for the whole server. Their builds are on fire.
Intreta cu Savage.
Tata, de ce nu ăsta haiul? Omori Zandi, uitați-vă stânga, omori Zandi. Banii. Uitați-vă stânga, omori Zandi. Dacă vreau să te pe live, omori Zandi. Da, omorit. Vedea acolo sus, stânga. Omori Zandi, drip. Da, că eu țin cumva din damage la meciul ăsta. Mă, omorit.
Stick down to the ground, and hey, this trio has been in game a lot in day.
Eu țin cu Tusi. Dacă nu ăsta țin cu Tusi. Și cu Razen.
Dar ce mă cu Mr. Savage?
Nu-mi place.
La mătura, deja e slab.
Ce-a mereu cu tăia montaj? Uite pe montaj. Îi dau 5-1, dar rând care i-am luat, știu dacă montaj, da?
Uite pe Savage că hai, n-am mă, uite că nu ăsta hai.
Normal, vere că e asta. He nu mai are reperi. Normal, vere că e suport. Să vezi nu place că e suport.
Mamă, dar eu nu te aud de la căcatul ăsta, bă.
Dă-vă să puteare și dă la încet. Sound effect, nu sound effect, dă. Dă jocul încet. Dă jocul încet.
Nightmare escalator right now. Everyone trying to get up on the mountain as fast as possible, and you have to keep going because it's going back over.
Că mie nu-mi place de să vezi că e suport. Ba da, e suport, el joacă suport, o știi. Uai, ce l-a bătut! Uai, ce clip i-a dat! Bă, nu zic că nu-i bun, dar față la un fragger, față la... N-are să facă-l vabil, sau la ăștia fraggeri. N-are ce să facă, bro. Hen?
On the side of the mountain, so high
Și Hen. Și Hen. Da, acum să dai eu ceva. L-a bătut. Ba nu, nu pot să... M-a murit, Razen, bă. Altul care ține a mea. Chapik, uite-l pe Chapik. Da.
I like what Chapix has in inventory to Chuck Cannon. It could give him a little bit of breathing room as he's navigating these empty buildings.
Și Chapix e bomba. Chapix e foarte bun. Falcon. Chapix e bun, bro. Nu te-ai cunoscut, ai bun.
Da, știu.
LGBT, mamă, l-are LGBT nume cu aia. Am să văd pe acolo jos, gen când s-a făcut. Uite LGBT, uite LGBT babac.
Da.
LGBT bubac. Sper să mor. Omori Chapix. Sevex câștigă meciul.
Nu ți-am zis, bă, că Sevex, da,
Mort. Și-ți-am. Hai Sevex.
a murit ÂNCREDERE, cred.
O făcut în Savage. Uite-te la ăsta în față.
And they do that with 7 eliminations.
Bro, tu nu vezi ecranul ăla din față?
Ba da.
Păi na. Și nu vezi că joacă. Să știm? Bă, tu ești pe live-ul meu? What the fuck? Ce-ai delete?
For those boys.
Eu deja vă cum vorbesc ăștia. Ce-ai delete?
Everyone down at the same time. Seaglove and Reese, what do you guys have for us?
Yeah.
The first game of day number 2 of the finals, and it goes over to Mr. Savage Levin. I've never thought I would see this, but here we are.
Uite, acum la mine.
Ia aici. Aici, că n-a făcut unul. Aici, how? Păi da. Uite. Da, asta, ia. Ce-a făcut unul? Și aici a făcut unul.
Aici,
Sevex câștigă femește să om. Mec în 4 minute.
Bă, dacă dau un... Cât?
Mec, uite-te sus dreapta pe veretă, nu? Ecranul. Meci 4 minute 21. 4 minute 20.
Câte meciuri de sunt?
10. Parcă fa 4. Update. În drept, Victor Real. Refresh-ul DUPA și Mr. Da, nu mai mulțumesc, task mi-ai zis că câștigă altcineva, nu mai știu cine ai zis că câștigă. Aici vreau că se vede tot. Și dacă stai aici? Da, da, stai ăla.
Wow, Reese wanted to point out some things that happened in this last game and how the bus pass can affect storm surge in the game itself. So we can see this bus path is kind of going from the northwest diagonally down. You can see the way it follows down here. So this creates real difficulty for the teams who are in steamy stacks, alongside their dogs, and also at the same time retail roll. I mean, by difficulty is that the buses are going to be gliding for a lot longer. Now, what that basically means is that there are going to be some teams and some spots on the map who are going to be able to take advantage of this. Places like Trevor, who's dropping here. Spots and the guardian towers. If we notice now, Trevor, for example, lands on the turret, will not believe the shots he hits here. Or if So, Mr. Savage won that, you can thank Trevor in a long way.
Un omor până și la 160 de dați-vă rapid restart, că voi nu vedeți bine. Știu, tu nu mă acomodezi, Da, ieși tu și intră iară. Vedea-l pe trei.
Yeah, and these are the kinds of things that you almost can't control if you're the player on the
Vedea-l pe trei, tu și pe unul. Tu și pe unul, vedea-l pe trei.
Just hope the bus grants you safely. Kiri actually swung around to remain in first place.
Da, pe unul tu, mă.
Will now sit in second.
Măcar locul 3 de la Vadean.
Și eu pe Vadean să câștigă.
Și tu ți da, Vadean nu-mi place mă.
Clutch from Chapix. I call it crazy clutch. Obviously,
Chapix nu câștigă. Bă, Regi, ieși și intră iară.
By just simply staying alive in that endgame there.
I mean, the movement that they had was
we were watching it in the back, just kind of losing our minds a bit because the way that Hen and Chapix were able to navigate through those old builds, not managing to fall into any players up until Hen hit a massive damage 175. That was the first time they managed to run into another team, and they managed to pick up an Elim. Obviously, Hen then got picked up because he had a duo with them. They managed to get that elimination. Then Chapix got them up till 5th as a solo as well. So I think they started that movement. I think there were still like 17 teams alive, and they managed to do that all the way up until top 5. That is the kind of clutches that you need to be having if you're going to be placing in the top 5 in the FNCS.
Serious?
Yeah, let's take because of course Chips' trio, they've dropped down in the standings a bit. They're one of the teams to go down a bit talked about, yeah, you know, we talked about how aggressive they were in the back end. You know, we talked about how they can't slow start, we took them out of it yet, but definitely a bit of a reality check if anything.
I mean, that's punishing because you've got to remember, like, they were 4th and in a single game have dropped down 8 placement points. And that really shows how close this top 10 is. That, you know, we've mentioned a lot of times at the top of the show, don't count any of these teams out who are 10th down till that 20th right now. This proves why. One game can change the swing of things so much. Move huge swings with Chips down all the way 8 places. We see obviously Refsguard going from 5th till 2nd now. Hen was 7th and now they're in 4th on that too. Like, the leaderboard is all going to shake up over the next 6 games.
I'll be real, I still can't get over Hen.
Se baga?
You better not hit that other shot. Like, I was thinking,
sekunde. 10, 9, 8, 7,
I was humbled rather quickly.
4, 3, 2, 1 leci, ia
into more action here from the FNCS in
Ja,
EU's
ja devem cine joacă
Make
meci.
sure you guys keep up with all the action. Don't forget
Vreau
to
să
watch
văd cu Zandiu.
Fortnite.com, a great place to watch. Party Royale, continue using those emotes, fam. And for now, we're
Eu vreau să văd pe Vadil, nu?
gonna
Și eu vreau să văd pe Vadil. Sincer, bă, Vadil, chiar dacă nu câștigă ora să ies în primii 3. În primii 3 vreau să iese. Păi sunt pe 1, tu știi pe 2, Vadil pe 3.
Revin.
Da, hai aici, hai la șele.
Yeah, what really worked out for
direct pe server, nu
is that all those things that we broke down in the desk as well, the second, third, and fourth went down really early in there, and that gave them that opportunity. But this is where it matters. And Entrada, oh no, he takes a big shot from Stats. That it's a trade that we're gonna see how it unfolds. But that's a very scary. This is what I'm talking about, man. Every time when you're contested, it's not guaranteed. No way you're gonna have to work for every single point and every single right to be an in-game, and Refsguard will not be joining us here so far because Malabuka gets him eliminated, but Savage Naked sinks as well. This is not the momentum. What a great response from Savage.
What a shot. That might just turn the tides of the whole fight. 72. Straight over. Almost to the dome of the man up top. Shiza trying to contest him on positioning. Now they might have a little bit of breathing room to make this 2v3 possible at the same time. The sticking on Savage and Entrada. The longer they wait, the more time Shiza has to loot and heals, the more time Malabuka has and Mustache to get loot. So he's going to go straight on the chase. Run all the way to Mustache. He's trying to get all the way high.
Cum să ia corect.
He thought he was already flying. Wasn't the case. Now he has no shields.
The clay effect is real. It happened in day 1, and it's gonna happen here in day 2. When you win a victory royale, you go down early here.
La contest. Omorite al Zeta.
Contesting the whole time, so impressive that their second overall is so similar to what Janice Chapix were doing last season. I mean, the thing is though, you know, being all the way towards the top, this impressive overall cumulatively, how long is it going to last? Because the more games that happen, the more chance you have, you know, 2 games going to back-to-back, you know, completely knocked off on spawn. That might not be the best thing in the world for a team so far in the lead.
Hey, at the same time, we have 8 games here. So that's going to be an additional 2 bonus games. Has never been done before in the FNCS. Last time we had this bonus game was in Season 4 when we had an extra game there. Mongol, Mitro, and Tasting at that time, they had a huge lead, but then they just started dying off the rip. You're going to the 50-50 for that start chest. So when they kept this, getting eliminated off the rip, so to speak, eventually, you know, they were able to hold on. And that's the thing that's going to come in and what's going to happen with these bonus games.
Stompi. Bă, dar ce stai cunoscut, mă? Da, oricum, să la mondial. Nu ajung nici în finală, nici în semi.
For them two holding on to the lead earlier on in day one. Now they're kind of falling down the board. Started off, I think, on around second, third place overall, all the way down to sixth now. So they're going to be looking to maybe try to climb back. That means though they have to win this fight over and over. I mean, all these teams, Sancho, they're all going to be fighting. They might have one game online, one game offline. Kiriachi is uncontested off spawn. They're going to keep moving forward, staying first. They had a 2-point difference in their lead starting the day off. And after that last game, it's extended to a 10-point lead. If no one here ends up really owning their job spot, I feel like Kiriachi can just run away with this. And I know it's really early. We still got 7 more games to play, but we're looking at the future right now.
Right now, Pink's future is not looking hot at all. You talked about that slide, and the slide is happening right now, and they kind of vented their frustrations on social media about ZQ making a move right over here. But if you're in ZQ's boots, you have to understand, man, you were getting bullied out of Holly Hatchery. I mean, Void's trio was just on one yesterday, and so you don't want to deal with that anymore. So you take your chances. You find out that literally all it takes is one win off a drop. You're like, okay, I'm going back there again, and that's what happened. That's what is so dangerous there. You know, as soon as you kind of give up your spot, you rotate. The same thing with Malbuka. He lost one. He explored different options. I know one time with the caddy corner because that was vacant, so to speak.
That's why
Savage, has the momentum. That's the thing when it comes down to these drop spots mentality.
It's all different game to game. It's all different, honestly, when it comes season to season as well as to who's qualifying and where they go entirely. New team, though, entering lazy. Oh, never mind. They're still going to be boxing on the left side, but they're getting slightly more aggressive before looting, now focusing, and Shadow's also getting focused in this fight that lasted a long time. Is jumping the gun fast, looking for next coming through with Exteriors on the side. Benji Stero's in trouble.
Benji's in trouble right now without Shadows here. Benji and Joe are going to work together, and there's pressure coming from all different sides in the moment here. With the green tack, I know Benji does not want that in his inventory. He wishes he had a ball at his side here so he can just get that maximum damage with a quick edit. Asterios here putting pressure on Joe. As you're seeing Hen drive by in the distance here. Who knows that they might want a piece of this action here. Mappy, Asterios putting more pressure on Benji and Joe. Benji and Joe are going to retreat back into the box here, and that might be just enough, but no, Asterios is still here. Red Rush is now going to provide a different angle, so that scrum is happening. And meanwhile, Ingram coming down from the Central Mountains is going to go into Lazy Lake. There's about 3 now trios here in this fight.
So much more action, so many different angles from everyone here looking to have another big game. This might be one of those games where both trios make it off spawn, and that could really change up the leaderboards. Benji could also clutch, and that could really save his team for the boards, but at 45 HP, it's not looking like, the biggest possibility.
Let me see here. Game notes for game 6. Fan favorites fall early. That is what's happening. Savage went down, and Benji goes down. Red Rush, an old school name from the past, the FNCS Squad champion here. And now Benji's going to have to move on out. And man, I just feel bad here. I mean, when you're in the corn in the FNCS finals, things gone wrong. Things gone wrong.
You got the lo-fi playing in the background. It's raining outside.
Yep.
I know the vibes. This is tough.
Feels bad, man.
Pink, though, I think these guys are finally happy and lazy. They're really bunkering down. Similar to how we saw in game 1 when Queasy was kind of jumping on the Savage and they just boxed up in metal. These guys are fully turtling defense mode, not even leaving this house looking for anything, editing. They're just focused on living. And that's what they need to do, Sancho. Look at the zone. You love talking about this too, right? Lazy Lake. That's home right now in this zone. Like, it's literally central. You can control so much. You can go anywhere you want, north, south, east, west. If they just live off spawn here, they can have a glorious game to come back.
I'm thinking of the Hellfires, those trios, when they find success in Lazy Lake, they bunker down when things get crazy, and they let the third party help them out here. Now, there's not going to be no third parties out here. This is going to be a battle between Art Skills and Andalex's trio, and we're trying to see Andalex kind of come back into form here, and they always make these day 2 adjustments where they get a little bit more aggressive. Last time, Art Skill was just having free reign on these coastal rotates, but Andalex and Xweez and 4ZR going to put a stop to that mess. Wait a minute. I said there's gonna be no third party. Wait a minute. Why are Kylie? They're here. This is around their area, Camp Cod, and they heard the ruckus and they made the rotate on the beach.
There's no way this is word of mouth. This has to be some sort of advertising on the South POIs that there's this big fight going on. Boobox flying into from another side. I'm not sure what this is, but a fight at the edge of the earth of sorts.
Do you remember last season where like someone was padding into Camp Cod? Like, who padded to Camp Cod?
I mean, things get crazy when the zone's even remotely near the south, and these guys are going to be storm fighting off the island. There's no land to hold on to. Where Bubak Kylie really going for these elims, really going for, I guess, even, you know, a statement that we kind of own this entire spot of the zone, but isn't it cost them so much?
So much invested, but right now the greatest investment right now is that chug cannon, so they can kind of stick around here a little bit longer. Now they're going to go ahead and disengage and maybe kind of rotate up to the natural terrain here and wait patiently. So 4ZR is squeezed here, even though they try to get some Storm Surge, maybe get some easy eliminations. Or now in trouble. This is just so shocking. No one's supposed to be here.
They came in and they were like, hey, what's going on? Okay, whatever. It's fine. The worst referees I've ever seen in a match of boxing between two different teams. I'm not sure.
No. It wasn't a boxing. That's a pro wrestling referee getting involved. They threw in that metal chair and left. And now we're seeing another fight out here.
What is going on?
Siberia and Force are fighting on the edge of the earth again. This is 7 towards Force normal rotation. I don't know why T, Cammy, and Seti are down here. Maybe they got pushed out there. And sometimes, like myself, I don't want to go to the beach when the missus tells me we're going to the beach. I want to stay indoors, and that's what happens. Cammy, Sen, and Teak, they get pushed out to the ocean, and they made, oh my goodness. I am in shock. How did that happen? The FNCS Asian champion alongside with Siberian 7-Tor. 7-Tor on social media, you know, tweeted out an anime gif, and that man's serious today. I saw it, I was like, I think it was from a famous series that involved the name Notes, and I was like, okay, this guy's serious today. He's the Elim Notes anime coming soon to Fortnite.
Nah, just look at it this way, right? After all the fights we've seen so far, might have to rebrand from the FNCS to the BPF, the Fortnite private beach fights overall, because that's all we're watching over and over again from this early game. Look at the center of the map where Chapik's Jan is kind of rotating. There's no one here. Everyone's already moved towards these southern mountains. EU's experienced with how chaotic this zone gets. Maybe that's why everyone's kind of, you know, at the edge of the earth, looking to kind of climb all the way atop these really high points of elevation overall. Pen kind of stopped in his tracks. The taxi's kind of run out of the fare right there. Unfortunate. And wow, there's literally no one here. Everyone's on that south side.
And more people are, you know, where they are. They're here on this coast side, Retail Row. I've been seeing this the entire day one. Dead side rotations have been all the time, and everyone's just colliding on it. They're trying to IQ to rotate, and then all of a sudden you're just running into this fight here. Sai, who's been in Retail Row fighting this entire FNCS, is now dealing with a new kind of fighter, and his default coming from Dirty Docs.
Of season 7, it's just so rough all around. Every single POI. I mean, Rito Row still fighting. Rotations free and then abruptly stops.
Default
going down in a mannerism we've never seen. This is the guy who cleans things up. We're about to win this fight with Sai, 2v3 style.
That was great between Sai and his duo mate. They were able to kind of collapse on that, knowing that they're about to be flanked, but it was just a matter of time before the numbers game catches up to them. Minking Up was trying to hold on here with only 4 points to start today. Nice. That's a that's pretty good. Even the odds a little bit, the numbers a little bit better. Now it's a 1v1. They're doing really well with Surge, but if they can win this engagement, the reboot van is right there. You got to remember, there's still people out there on the beach fighting it out. Patrick here is going to get the reboot van here and go for it. That's a nice play. Now the numbers are back in the favor of Patrick and Co.
Yeah, you got Default back. He's like, yeah, you can have Sapphik. That's all good. We'll bring in Default once again. The closer of the fights at retail. This is the closer of a bunch of Fortnite games too. Going down early might have just been a tech from the CL-centric team, and now McNubb has a much bigger plate to deal with.
Imagine if you had the ability to choose who you want to bring back. That'd be kind of cool.
Man.
That'd be kind of cool. I would never be brought back. I would always be in the reboot van.
Just have to go there, never really get a card. Food for thought for future seasons, but right now, we're inside some real mental tough situations. Fast Roki low ground again, Void Karma. Looks like they survived a plane crash or something, like shield kind of low, HP also down, position that's just really bad. Fast Roki as well, he's getting bullied down to 8 HP, has to get into his flopper reservoir. You don't usually see that, safe for endgame, and
Banies as well.
Striking 187 damage below the threshold for Storm Surge. That pump might not even be enough. They have to get an entire Elam and finish it. Fast Roki's going down to Lightning. Karma's gonna be next. Now Tayson's gonna be the one that's even faster than that element. I mean, just insane. A second game in a row that Fast Roki can't deal with Surge.
And now Tayson has to deal with this flecking push, but these are the engagements I think that need to bring Vino, Reason, and Tayson back into the running. Right now, they're not doing so hot. They're about in the middle of the board. They're in 11th place going into this match here. But when you've been struggling that entire time with Storm Surge and dealing with so many people rotating in at Analyx, with this rotation from coming from the coast coming over here, and now we're seeing the rest of this fight here. Yeah, 2 pads go down. Builds are getting blasted out. Do you have a? He does have another one. I would love to see
number 3.
I would have just throw a pad in the box. Let's see what happens. You never know. Maybe they blast you out there, but Patrick and Default clean up that fight here. Question is, yes, they bring back Sapphik as well. So now they're going to be back into it. They're going to have to get all the resources, get back to full strength, and fight out a retail row. And Tayson, Reason, and Vino, they're getting bullied. Flecken kind of pushes them down, but it looks like they're trying to value positioning at this moment, satisfied with that Storm Surge fight that they had there with Fast Roki's trio. But it's still, man, I really think they gotta trust in their box fighting, get in there. I understand they're going for position, they early rotate, but you gotta catch up here with some elims.
Many teams are just kind of employing these tactics, though. They're baiting teams like Tayson, Vino, Reason into doing what you're saying, right? Going for those fights. Third party, roll straight through. If they fought Flecken right there, 4-0 would have been literally there in 5 seconds to clean up after that fight, right? So they have to be very careful. It is their strength, you're right, but they have to play away from their strength. It's going to be very difficult for Tayson to stay ahead of the game, look towards end games, look towards consistency. They've got what it takes. It'll just, you know, it'll be a lot of temptation to resist.
This is game 6 right now. Second place already gone. We're on board here with first place of Stormy Right, Kiriachi, and Toos, who their strength has just been, like I mentioned, the word is consistency. They've just been around, been in the top of the end game. They don't go for high. If they're at height, if they get contested, they lose, they drop down quickly. They don't try to expand, they don't try to crank or build fight. They're very intelligent when it comes to in-game, and I just feel like really this is just, maybe it might be the masterpiece, the renaissance for Kiriachi, man, and Stormy Right and Toos. Russian trio has always been in the running. They've been like a mid, but now they might be stepping up for that heavyweight fight and being the main marquee trio for the EU region.
Definitely extending their lead, first place by 10 points right now. Not separating their position though from everyone else. Everyone is kind of tied towards this left side near caddy corner. They have a crescent moon of trios just waiting for the sun to rise, going towards the next portion of the zone. Look at Adram not being aggressive, not even looking for shots. How uncharacteristic is that? Sean VP, the one being bullied and not surviving the clutch. Things are changing now towards these back half of games. Amplify 80 and Matso, they're activated.
Oh man.
Move with, you know, Andy before, and both teams survived. This time, one did not. So people are definitely employing different strategies to get out of these mid-game positions. At the same time, everyone's kind of just stuck side by side.
They're stuck here because of these kind of positions that everyone's kind of jockeying for on these mountaintops, and the zone is pushing off. Look at this. Everybody's on the left. But everyone's got to pick up their left foot and slide to the right for this moment here. Squeezing 4-0 Analyx, who've been wounded throughout the entire time. You got some sand under their toes, and you know once you go to the beach and you don't take a shower, you got sand in all these weird crevices. And as Squeezing 4-0, they're going to be irritated as they're making their way through here. But hey, they got a really strong position, but I'm just concerned the resources have been dipped into, the heals have been dipped into, and now as Squeeze has been double dipped and eliminated, 4-0 and Analyx have to roll as a duo.
This is so tricky, especially with this zone. We're going to shipwreck. I mean, I haven't seen a zone like this since last season's game number 1. It gets crazy. Anything can happen. And on an entire mountain. Is there a person beside there? Yes.
Mamă, dar mai 61 în zona asta, Cristi, uite-te. N-auzi? Ăsta nu e în zona, știi? Cristi, ăsta e în gând?
Reason online WAGER. Dar nu știu acum murit.
Nu, că ăsta da și el mofăn dacă nu se dă pe lângă.
De ce mă? Deci Reason WAGER. Da, aia de pe aia câștigă de visul. Adică să nu
Aia de pe ce?
Zone 5 is going to be revealed, Shy.
It's gonna be an avalanche.
Nu neapărat, nu neapărat.
To move off from one side of the mountain, it might be like an anti-gravity avalanche to go all the way to
Nu
the
l-a
other
riscat când
side.
omorât pe tu. Eu mă și la kill-uri acolo, stânga sus.
And that's a rise again to the trickiest zone.
Stânga sus acolo, de răscrie și ne-a omorât.
This is gonna be crazy for people to move across.
All it takes is a couple of beams and Alex is gone. Queasy is still in this fight, gets elimination in Red Rush, but we're watching right now.
Gambitus, uite, nu face acolo. Uite, Gambitus.
In the region, this French trio who made the French
Reason I know.
Da, Reason cu Tyson. Totala mea mă nervez când ai dat coate pe 1 milion, te-ai pus în față și-am dat kick.
Da, e și...
Stai, lasă-mă în pace.
I saw
So very little change.
sneaky push from the bottom. They're electing to go to the base of the mountain. And Alex though, he's moving all the way up on the top right of your screen. 4 HP, can't make a single mistake. Half-ad up in the air. 3 AR shots will take him out, but no one's looking. Everyone has to be focusing on this position. It's such a tricky zone.
Bă, îți fericit că mă joc același joc cu Vadial. Îți fericit că mă joc. No, what
position to be down there. Look at that, even Bootback is...
Asta te feca. Vera, dacă stau feca, poți să mă uit la baie, poți să beau apă, poți să... Vera, nu poți să-ți vorbesc eu ție. Că pe la urmă stau și mă, nu stau și vorbesc. Încrezi de cine-i dat, încrezi. Că și el ăsta ca feca. Încrezi de cine-i dat. Cum pune să vedem?
Oh my god, I've never seen Kazakhs panic that hard.
Dude, I panicked.
But wall supports everywhere. We're panicking too. They're back up the height though. That cost them a lot. Kazakhs,
it did.
171 mats now, and it's only what?
Oh my goodness.
Ai dat, man.
It's one of those chaotic in-game.
Tyson.
This is one of those chaotic games that we always love to see and love to cast, but no one loves to play because it's going to get messy. Here we are, they're on the low ground, but not really. They're heading down now. Hey, Tyson, Vino, and Reason. Watch them start there on the door, and let's save it. Save is alive here. Save is going to try to find his way back to glory.
Yeah, Isavish the high. Isavish the high. Normal hit Isavish to the high.
Everyone on every single layer has to be very careful. We're going back up, straight over the mountain, across flat land, but the zone could be
nu știu, să-mi dau kick, acum doamne ăștia. Pentru că m-a enervat, că îmi dădea ca tăbă mine, putea să-i radu și mă așteptai. Dacă nu era revolverul ăsta. Ce s-a întâmplat pe ăla? Ai văzut ce-i ca și la ăsta? Omori să zici. Da, am pus să zici, omori la început, am uitat să zic. Omori la contest să zici.
Da, mă, stai că am uitat.
Da, și a fost locul meu, cred că pierdut locul 2, clar. Vadial a pierdut 300%. Tu știi să locul, tu știi câștigă. Tu știi câștigă. Ascultă-i la mine, tu știi câștigă.
Aqua as a solo, trying to make things happen. Missed it on the walk up, but he got a big finish on the Aqua damage. 33 on the elo cracks. He's still getting points.
Ăsta e Aqua, ăsta e?
Working height or in the circle, the zone is still
Ăsta e Aqua. E Aqua, e ca lui trio-ul ăsta, lui Vadial. Vadial. Da, mă, dar e Aqua, vezi? Ce că e? Ok, e Aqua. E Aqua. Hai, Aqua. Hai, Aqua.
Moare în zonă, ce-a
Nu moare. Nu moare. Nu moare, mă.
Cum să te aleagă Vadim pe tine?
Da, joc e bun. Da, nu e mai normal.
Tripper and the last one left. He gets taken out. He's gone, and now
Tyson,
Tyson control everything going down below the lobby. It's gonna get squeezed up, There's another hill, a mountain in the way. Kylie, once again, is another player surviving from that last game. Here to this one. The same pattern beginning to look at everyone else though. They're trapped. They have to get by not only the entire server.
Io non posso giocare più a me, ma mi vado a fidare per un
Champion vibe right back this season.
They're rocking that actual champions in their spirit and in their minds here. They're trying to defend themselves from a big match we've had. Great day one here. Are trying to regain their footing here in day two. On the front side of the zone, it's champion versus champion. AJ versus EU. And EU pops out AJ again. With a trying to regain it. It's another active champion running around. More active champions. But here he is, Trulix, Jerky, and Queasy. Going against the contenders from day one. Nev, Pink, and Stompy working on
It'll be the fourth mountain there on a possibility of a res all the way down below, but Nebs is going for it. Tuck Splash Cannon to keep his HP from the zone alive. Is he up? He's up. Now it's 3v3, but there's no match for Stompy. He used them all to actually defend. What? Big shot taken on height. Pump lands again. The retake. It's coming through with Stompy. Oh no. Queasy, no way. They're doing it.
Mosto, mamma ciao. Mamma ci claccio da questa. Ci claccio da. No, uno per esempio da questa. Da. Uai, ci claccio da. Da, de ce tu ești care ești?
M-am uitat că am fost așa de
No words, bro. No words. No words, child.
I don't even want to have to think about anything else. Sneak?
No,
please. Take it away.
I thought that I've seen it all. I thought that this was just gonna be another normal day of Fortnite. I thought this was gonna be the normal finals. Apparently everyone decided they were gonna go absolutely hamburgers for no reason.
Uite-te acum. Uite-te ce se călășoați. Uite-te pe ecran. Unu.
What are you doing, brothers? Oh my god!
Da.
Needed to pull something off like that. The comeback to recovery, the moment to even pick your teammate up. I mean, oh my goodness, dude. This was next level, bro.
Oh my god. Look, Queasy, Trulix, and Jerky, it's an absolute travesty. It's shocking. You can, there's so many words. It's everything that could possibly go wrong. Like, you don't lose that. Like, we know Stompy's great. He's one of the all-time greats. He was dominating the land.
Îndrepta cu 77. Mamă, Cristi!
Not even real. That
Cristi! Da, asta e, dar tu vorbești cu Gagica.
That shouldn't have happened. Nobody should win that if you're in
Nu, serios. Se vede pe 2 pe 7. Mai deodată că nu mi-a arătat cu aia.
He became the champion. Zeke still lost in the sauce. He still can't believe it as we say that. And you know, a lot of people
că revine canul.
Nu revine. Dacă te gândești asta pe dus locul ăla.
to pick up players on to pick like huge big brain play, because that also saved one bullet, right? That knockdown was allowed Stompy to be able to win it. Huge incredible play.
Tu măcar.
Oh my gosh, these teams, they are fake, man. They want to be active champions. They want to win.
Jurki pe 7, pe 18.
We got to talk about what with Malaluga happening here earlier on in the game. I'm still shaking.
Joey, eu nu bun de wave. E după Vadil, al doilea cel mai bun. Mamă, cu aici clutch. Cu aici clutch. 1. Și aici a murit ăla. Păi aia, că eu ținut. Normal. Are Q mare, bro, are Q. Gândește mult. Uite, Mirosevic, uite aia. Ma. Da. Robotul ăla ne mărcă, în
Dar 100% nici nu mă îndoiesc că nu revine.
Dacă nu pierde, ascultă-mă, dacă iese din locații, revine. Aici e bătut eu. Nu Neymar. Știu, și pe 2, vedea pe 3.
203 Banii, 4 Neymar, 5 Banii, 6 Mr. Service pe 7, nu, corect?
Câte puncte are Service? 103, da, regulă, poate. Poate să revină.
Pe 6,
Poate să revină.
dar uite că trebuie să fie pe 6.
Uite că la acumulate contează. Gen că ăia au făcut hen, nu, ăia de pe 6. Da, ele contează că hen au făcut ăsta de pe 6. Ăsta de pe 6 au făcut mai multe puncte și ieri. Gen că se acumulează punctele. Nu vezi că Vadil a făcut cât ăia de pe 2, și aproape cât ăia de pe 1. Nu mă îndoiesc că nu revine, dar Service revine dacă prinde meci bumbă. Cristi, dacă prinde... Știu, și bă, au creier mare ăștia, au IQ. Service chiar dacă nu e bun, chiar dacă nu știu... Chiar dacă nu editează super repede sau așa, bă, gândește tot. Gândește, bă, dacă nu intră la box și fac așa, bă, știi? Are mecanici și IQ mare.
Mecanici 9 din 10.
IQ 10 din 10. Și noi, și IQ.
IQ 10 din 10.
Bing 8 din 10.
Aim are bune.
Nu, 9, 8, 5,
9 din 10, bă, dacă ai sniper, dacă are sniper...
bă, sniper, bro. Sniper, da. Da, contează mai mult.
Nu contează, dar să pe sniper are foarte bun.
Da, de ce? Dă-mi request să intri. Dă-mi request să intri.
Da, nu, că-i dau.
Hai, dă-te invite.
Se mor de lamp.
I don't know how they recovered from that one. If me and
Search.
Reese happened
Asta e că... Bă, dar n-are arăta, mă. Băi, FNCS-ul și pe America. Îți la cât? Oricum, nu se mă îndoiesc că buga tu știi de FNCS-ul.
No.
Well, guys, you heard the bus.
Ba da. Da, ce nu? Eu zic că buga sau asta, cum îl cheamă? Clix. Sau, mamă, dar nu se joacă, mă, ăsta, cum îl cheamă, Face-ul. Mă crezi că Face-ul câștigat FNCS-ul pe ei?
Ce?
Mă crezi că Face-ul câștigat FNCS-ul pe ei? Dacă ai jucat? Pușează și are ei. Da, e nebună, la sare peste un bol direct, băi. Păi, știe cum se face. Ai, ce intră asta cu AK-ul, nu-i bine, nu intră bine, că l-are shotgun.
Wow, Stompy, okay, you're
Where
on
was your
now,
gun?
man. I looked at
Wow, ce fac? Wow, ce fac?
He's on one. They took that. Remember they got pickaxe? You remember that's how we started this broadcast? They got pickaxe.
Uite-l pe Savage, uite-l pe Savage. A făcut kill. A făcut kill Savage.
Reaching new heights. Savage, Revscard, they're gonna win this Steamy Stocks engagement. But man, my brain is like fried. It's frozen in time. He's frozen in time.
Everyone's back now. Savage winning his fight, Stompy actually going for the aggressive play and winning. The confidence is here. No one's actually, trying to do these weird trades, stay back a little bit, play for info. They're really capitalizing on any opening that they can. Midnap also getting clicked up, or completely just clipped. Akubu looks like all the way at Retail Row as well. Benji winning his exteriors. All the patterns we were watching yesterday from the favorite teams, the matchups that analysts were predicting would go a certain way. They are going that way now.
A făcut Savage kill. A ieșit din locație.
Yeah, back in the corner.
E meciului, e meciului.
Day one, this is what was happening, and it just showed you right there. I mean, Queasy, I think Queasy, day one, the pattern that we were talking about from them, shout out to mention that, is that they weren't still in in-game, they were taking heights. That zone was really difficult. They had it, and normally, I would say 90% of the time, maybe 99% of the time, you don't lose that kind of advantage when you have height, and considering that the low ground was plumb out of Maps here. Now Mappy's in trouble here. He's going to feel the pressure from the rest of Joe, Shadow, and Benji. And now we're back to Force, who have turned around their fortunes here in day 2. But it looks like this is...
Já com arma. Vere, esta aí pro. Já com arma, Vere, tu vês?
On number 2 looks like this time.
Very shotgun to armor. And shotgun.
For Force, his shotgun splash charges
Shotgun
down. Jaggy tends to get off here. They might just want to go for the damage totally, and yeah, that's a lot, about 300 to 400 damage across all 3 players from there. Very good from Trixie, a nice push. They'll back the whole way away.
It makes me laugh because all you hear is just the car going, and they're just out, right? They just came on through, did what they had to do, and they're rolling out, and Red Rush is rolling out, and it's going to be one of those games, Red Rush, you just got to do what you can. Hold, he does have the Stereos' card, and that's what I learned in NA West. When you have that black bar right there, it means you do have a card there to go. So you have one of those cards so far, and now we're taking a look at Kirachi, which it feels like people will remember Stompy's play the most, but Kirachi right here, it's going to be one thing, and this is what I'm talking about. I'm finally seeing it. Save It was scooting by, starting by day 1, no problem. We're living fine now.
Big drop. Needs more power, more guarantee of surge damage all the way off of spawn. So yeah, right for Save It. So they're getting kind of bullied too. So the big edit blocks one shot, edit hits another. Huge speed from there is insane. And boom, that's it. Not a single person getting fully eliminated. He had 2 Scott knocked at the very end, but a very good bait for Stormy and Kiriachi to make that pinch possible.
And if I saw that on bots, Kirachi definitely saw that as well. Every time I see it, you look at that battle map, you're seeing they're tracking, you instantly see that Save It constantly goes all the way down to that dish, rotates through Shantytown, and it's just uninhibited. Just easy. Now he has to pay the toll, and that toll ultimately costs him here.
Deci eu am auzit, bro, cum să nu-i triolul. Eu știu de mult, dar știu. Da, normal, ăștia trio de 3 luni. Eu cam de 3 luni știu, gen, de când și-am făcut trio cu... Eu când am intrat de Wave, când am intrat în Wave, eu atunci am știu. Eu urmăresc Wave-ul. Îmi place că Wave-ul că l-am preferat. Schimă, clan, ce cum vrei să zici.
Rightfully so too. I mean, if you've seen the style of play, the zones that he's very very reminiscent of the clutches he had with Chinkin and Aqua all the way back in season actions, previous seasons as well. And he's only on a 2 for the day now. I think Savage's trio is the only one with that 2. And they're in first place off of that game too. So that's just absolutely phenomenal.
People are forgetting that Chapter 1 map had huge mountains, a lot of them everywhere. Pleasant Park had like a whole ring of mountains. You're going down towards the towers, there's their own little ring of mountains. You go to Salty Springs, that huge mountain, and then just a little bit dead in the middle, dead center, they have another mountain right there. I could go on and on forever. I mean, we're talking about the glory days. You remember those broken houses right then and there, like south of Loot Lake? That was another huge mountain that Chapter 1 had, but yes. Aqua and Sampi and Chinkin, like you mentioned, from Season X are the champions, but there's so many champions in this lobby, man. So many.
It's been a while, right? Everyone's gonna have their shot at the throne. Some people have called it home for longer.
Mamă, 29 11 puncte, bro. Pe care 40 tu știi. Mamă. Șadră că Benji nicio șansă nu are. Benji, clar.
I'm sorry. Red Rush got confirmed by Joe.
Wondering.
I told you, my brain is still frozen by Stompy. So also as well as Falcon Lee, his trio has been eliminated. Malibu has been eliminated. Sai has been eliminated. And then you have Carmi has been eliminated. And Wings and Carmi, day 1, they were doing really good, man. I love their aggression into Pleasant Park. They're pushing Coral Castle, but so far their day 2 not so great, considering that they're now sliding out of the top 10.
Yeah, you're talking about, you know, the difference from day 1 and 2. Look at the trios on board right now. Fast Roki, Void, and Karma also had trouble on this day compared to the first. They're going with different tactics now. It's being quiet. Look at their shot here against Tooth, the trio that's really good at affecting them many later on in the game. If they take out these guys right here, they even have a little bit of damage to interrupt their loop path, it'll be trouble. But Tooth senses something.
Yeah, he did.
The awareness is just there. Kriachi will come up and see if he's okay. He'll base up a little bit, and now they hear Void. Void hears the Bills, understands that they're playing a little bit of defense. They might just force this fight.
It basically heard like a branch, like a stick break. Just like that, it's like now it's on high alert. They're going to go ahead and build up the space and bunker down here. And I think, yeah, you don't want a piece of that. You just know that's going to be one of those fights drawn out. Hey man, sometimes fast food is not good for your diet. I just gotta let you know. I gotta let you know that dirt burger ain't worth it. And as juicy as it is, it ain't worth it.
Fast Roki just looking.
Care ar fi șanse de acum să mai câștige.
One of the rules is you have to be careful not to make a sound. And if a branch does snap, who knows, you fall down in a pitfall, you get in a little bit of trouble. That's just what happens there to them. It just feels like Fast Roki's always looking to be the counter to a different trio, or to play, you know, in the shadows of someone else's power. It's not really finding that type of success today. Same thing with Hydro's and backfeed. Always looking to cause a little bit of ruckus, but not be the main target for a lot of fights. And since everyone is playing so passive, so separated right now at this portion of the game, they're having a little bit of trouble also getting elims. When we were watching in day number 1, they had 1 or 2, or they were really influencing, you know, people behind the scenes. They kind of seem like the hidden overlords of the mid game. Right now, they're just kind of a lot quieter.
Definitely, they were puppet mastering everybody right there. It's like, you know, there's regulators in this world, and there's instigators, and definitely they are instigators. And you see that retreat from Fast Roki there. They go right into another trio, and that's Toasty. So hey, they didn't get a dirt burger there, but they do get to eat. And they get that maximum storm surge with that sniper shot. And Fast Roki is going to get credit for that elimination there, but as you've seen, 6 trios are already out of this match here. And it's just so interesting. I feel like that previous game kind of felt like a throwaway game. It kind of like, you know, there's a lot of weird things that was happening because we have the extra 2 games to work with. And I felt like a lot of people were trying new things. And so it's interesting to see where people go after this. Again, never historically done before. 8 games in day 2.
Brezvan, intră în parcă. Ieși de pe ăsta și intră din nou, ieși din meciul ăsta. Și intră din nou, și de nou intră în parcă și intră din nou. Pe game ce am local nu merge.
Absolutely huge, not only for the leaderboards, but for this match as well. Look at that, very aggressive rotation coming all in from Dirty Docs. They're picking up the pace. I talked about the woes in the semifinals, and they seem to get them better in day 1, and now they're getting really solid here in day 2. You're going to be able to try to pick up the pieces when it comes to Karma and Fast Roki.
I'll go back to talking about, you know, the differences from last game and how trios are playing and now. I feel like, you know, going towards the left side compared to the mountains, everyone kind of has that normal game plan. You know, everyone kind of has of space on both sides of the Venn diagram for this zone on how to play.
I think that's what those mountains are very tempting. You know, you aggro those mountains, those placements. You understand that once it goes around the mountains and up and over, you got to go all the way to high. As the Swedes gets a knock against Rotary. And I agree with you. Once the mountains are there, it kind of throws everything out the window. Your game plan you have, as you go automatically to DEFCON 5. It's like, all right, mountain zone, we know exactly where we need to go.
Yeah, this time though, it's not going to be a big presidential threat on every single trio in the lobby. We'll have a lot of room to play, a lot of, you know, chances to get information to Kriachi. Identify all the different threats around him, and sense that Kylie, with these beamings on trees, looking for vantage points as well. What a nice shot to that big UFO looming in the distance.
Yeah, the mothership. Oh yeah, I was just in awe right here, the rotation, the warp rotation that we saw here from Savage. Savage is literally on the other side of Kirachi.
They move fast.
They move fast.
Think about it this way too. Kirachi started here, right? And Savage is all the way in steaming, and he has a better spot in this zone.
Avem de șana un timp. No, oameni.
They've never done that before. They in positions they haven't been in any game in the finals so far.
Stai așa că îți mai aduc încă vreo dată, știu unde.
That's interesting. We'll see how that kind of results. Last time they were just being consistent, playing for position, but now they decided to fight. I think they're feeling the pressure of the lobby. They understand that they need to get eliminations as well, so it could be that thing.
Yeah, I mean the biggest difference for Kirachi right now. They were first for like the last 3-4 games. This is the first game they're operating in second place. They've taken over.
Gen challenge-ul, dar nu de formă. Gen challenge-ul să joacă oameni.
So they gotta be careful here. You may get those
să faci un
there, but it's still 6 points worth it for the long run because again, you have teams like Stompy putting on a show and hey, Aqua even though they were in shambles in that other in game, Aqua got some valuable eliminations.
20 de comentarii, poți să faci live lejer.
We're about this time too.
Da,
This is the most concerning thing.
mai ales că nu i-a pus să mă calitate mai bună.
Historically, one of the most consistent trios of the region, struggling with Surge once again.
Wow.
In terms of being landing somewhere mid-map, kind of a little bit on off vibe or off center in terms of positioning in this zone. Just ahead is what I'm trying to say. And it just seems like they've been a step behind this entire finals, looking to actually equalize though. They're pushing back. I think he's also suffering from Surge. So they need to land a puck before he gets taken out. 100 now is enough for the moment. We'll watch that number go down. Close fast. 73 teams still in the lobby. This feels like a pick zone right now, but it's only the third.
Yeah, it's been happening the entire time, but pitchers are definitely, more, pitchers describe 1,000 words, and this is what I'm saying, this is what's happening to them. Every time, their rotation, they're surrounded by people who need surge. So they get pushed and they're always on the defense. It's a two-sided coin for them, and it's not a good coin. Either they need surge or they're surrounded by players that do need it, and they get pushed into aggro. So that's what's been costing them their run, and you're right here. That is why they're not doing well.
Always caught in some type of surge black hole, so we'll have to try to get toward a different side of the galaxy, different side of,
Yes, I agree. Now expert right now, oh man.
This is tough. This man's completely in outer space. That's the good thing is, Benji is the one to get that loot with Shadow and Joe. Very good pickup from Shadow there to actually know exactly where the solo's going to be trying to rotate.
Da, uite pe Zandy. Zandy 1.
Down on Surge, just trying to survive a rabbit just running in a forest. Anyone could really just...
Crezi dacă mă auzi? Crezi dacă mă auzi? Dă-te mai în dreapta.
As soon as I say that, they both get taken out. And not. Never mind.
Hey, it happens that fast. Let's talk about Benji, Joe, and Shadow real quickly. They're making dead set rotations. That's what they're doing today. That's what I mean. They're primed to make a decent run here in day 2. Their dead set rotations were on point, and they were always at the end game. Now they're going to push their way clean closer to center. There they are on your bottom mini map. There are those blue triangles right on the edge of this here. But let's go back to Sapphic Patrick and default here. I thought they were able to move. This is something that's been happening in EU. They just go to the edge and stop. And they took the time and maybe get a little bit more center. Look how free center is. If they could just keep moving and not stopping on the edge of the storyline.
I mean, the issue is in Weeping Woods, this forest, it's really hard to navigate. Lots of space. It's not that traversable. Low ground's kind of really weird. And so many people are set up on hills or trees or vantage points you can't even see. So as a result, Sapphic trying to deal with stuff in front of him, he gets put in the back while trying to rotate. This is just even with Peppers, I mean, I guess you're saving it for a different zone. It's costing him a lot right now, and no one can really push all the way towards the center. All the people who are coming from the outside in, they're stuck on zone line. The only people at the center of the zone are the
This is it. It is about a minute until zone closes here. And where zone 5 goes, that's going to be huge considering Logjam has been in this entire time. So, Kirachi has been vibing, and he did get some good Storm Surge to initially onset his hold there. The question is, will he have the beams as well? You've seen Jackie come out from Caddy Corner, their hand position. You see Fasroki there, who's been all over looking for Storm Surge, only down to a duo. Now you have Candy setting Teak now, and better pastures on their own target. Look, no nade neighboring people. So when it gets to that 50-man surge, I think they're going to be a lot better off. But the question is, we already saw them on the front line. They need to get down right here. They need to get aggressive and open up those edits and make sure they get those wins.
Yeah, the win condition right now for Study Cam is just staying above.
Ce bine
So well all the way towards the end.
Ăștia au multe launch-pad-uri sau îi băgui ceva?
Așa, eu
comes in, they need to land a few shots here or there. Absolutely correct. The other big thing too with this zone, I mean, it'll happen in about 2 once we start moving, but so many teams, you mentioned it, like reactions have been sitting still. Even some teams, they haven't moved around that much. And with trees kind of separating low ground and high ground, you can see it the whole way through. If this zone goes straight into the forest, there should be so many different fights for height. Savage has barely even used any. All the spaces have just been sat in the entire time. Everyone is waiting to be the king of the spot.
Every time we drone over to
Mr. Savage.
This is always happening, and they're always jockeying for position. You have Nebs right there as well, kind of trying to assess those metal ramps. And of course, Kiraki has been on the high ground this entire moments here. We're moving into the end game, but deal really consistent.
Wow. Mistake from Vadil, but he has that medkit, he has the minis to get back. It's this trio. Highest bases at the same elevation.
Vadil has fireflies, and you know he's going to be ready to use that to take that high if he needs to.
But there's a trio here.
Ce prost joacă. Dacă nu mă acolo ești, vezi pe Noarali acum. Este Noarali. Ești în spate rău. Este Noarali. Salut, salut. Ăsta este Noarali. Este Noarali. Da, a murit.
Temporarily, but Flash and Mawaka and Koro put a huge wrench in those plans here, but all this structure here has to move and rotate, and they have to go down south, and that just means Kirachi has the advantage, but also Nebs as well, as you see, are now going to rotate around. I like what Benji, Joe, and Chato are doing. Last time for this moment, they were starting cranking up the hype, like ramping up the hype, but electing right now to stay on the ground, which Benji has a lot of experience being a low ground fighter.
Benji Fish.
Benji Logan is a very, very fun thing to watch. And that was the highlight of the day. They're not even highlight of the year.
Dacă am murit așa de repede să Andy.
Dar nu, te vezi pe unde e ăla. Bine că se mai spună, da.
Peter mânca și-a zburat pe el. Care s-ar putea.
First on low, second all the way on height, and third we just saw.
Nu, am sărit. Ungina s-a păit.
Trios looking to take
I saw in my little eye that Kirachi structure only be held not that strong. It's like about 4 boxes there that are holding it. It's all made out of brick. So if someone wants to chop it, they can.
I mean, we've seen the pattern so far at endgames. No one should be staying on their first base from the 5th zone. They always launch off. They go all the way to where the zone's moving. I think Kiriaki's learned that by now. So unless they want to stay there and lose height, we will see in just a little bit.
Deci dacă o să fim noi așa
Here's about to get to first moving, and it goes back up north.
Up north and Hen.
Dau viață și nu.
Mamă, ce viață ai putea.
Splash is really putting on the pressure.
Now everybody's got to move out here, and all those people that had that advantage or high ground are going to have to rotate out here in about 10 seconds. The storm is about to push everyone out of this area completely. Nebs being stomping now, have 3 eliminations. So even though they go down, the threshold, and it could be one of those matches that you need if you're holding on to first place. Just don't go down at this point here. Try to get to the top. Victories here.
Asta din Moldova, o știu. Asta nu știu ce nu știu. Da, am murit. Raven, Hell Contagion. Am băut astea, Benji, Wave, Joe, Savage. Uite-ți aici meci, uite-ți pro-player, nu mă vedeam noi. Da, dar Savage nu. Savage e jos. Cred, nu știu.
Ori pe high, ori pe low.
Nu știu. Uite, Joe are halul. Acum, Joe. Că l-am văzut pe Joe.
There's not a lot of air up here. It's getting thin because there's so many trios up here taking up all the oxygen. And Joe and Shadow here are breathing the finest purest air at the moment.
Bani, uite, nu trebuie să jos. Mamă, dar toți ăștia buni. Savage, ăsta-i Vegi, Jason, Joe, exact. Va dea lămărit. Joe, toți ăștia buni. Predicție win, cine de win? Cristi, cine de win? Cristi, cine de win? E jos, uite, ăsta tu mă să Savage. Cine de win? Eu zic că Benji, Benji sau ăsta, sau Savage. Benji sau Savage. Gulgeanu s-a murit. Gulgeanu. Eu zic că ăsta, Savage sau Benji. L-a bătut pe Benji Tusi. L-a bătut Tusi pe Benji. Uai. Să nu-și că Benji moare. Ba da. Rip Benji. Eu că te-a dau alei de el.
Who had a great day one could take height, and they are looking for it right now with the chop right there against Trulix. This just goes on the other side.
Cine l-a bătut Tusi? Tusi pe Benji, da.
Mr. Savage, mare.
Uai, Hel! Uai, ce s-a dat în Hel. Eu zic că timul lui Benji. Eu zic Savage sau Benji. Ce crede că așa altă murit? Uite-te, nu vezi că-s mort. E solo. E solo și low. Uite-te, uite acolo. Stânga jos. Nu câștigă. Da, îndeptare 6 kg. Se pricepe, mă, ăsta are Q. De asta-mi place de el, care e Q?
Bă, eu nici nu ajungeam până acolo, trebuie să mai rămâi și solo ăsta. Uite.
Mamă, ce rău. Prietene, de caci. Nu știu. Da, a murit. Tu și-a murit. Da. Nu Neymar, normal. Nu Neymar.
Man, hey, we remember we were seeing this trio come from the season.
Îi cunoști? Doamne, iartă-mă. Prieten că câștigă să mergi ori, nu Neymar. Câte meciuri la FNCS oare? Să nu înțelege, 4 cred. Da, cred că mai e o oră.
Hey, it's what happens when you do a tournament and it works for you. Everything's gonna work for you here on out. Nice VR. We're gonna go ahead and take it to break it all down.
Nu, eu sunt ăștia care vorbesc.
Eu acum sunt ăștia care joacă. Uite-l pe Savage, da, păcat că mor eu. Mamă, Cristi, eu zic că da Savage. Ia aici, how? Și ce mărit. Dar nu mai avut meci.
How, ia să vedem ce How și meciul viitor de win și how uite-te-mi pe 2 sau 3.
E pe 3, 100%, dar va de-al cred că o Savage. Ia cred că m-a arătat totul. Top 1.
You might not see exactly what they're doing, but they're operating in the shadows, right? They're trying to get these eliminations. They're trying to be consistent with that placement, and right now it's working for them.
Eu zic că e pe 3.
Savage pe 4, va de-al pe 3.
Este de la care face multe chestii.
E pe 4. Ori va de-al pe 4, ori pe 3. Și Sevici pe 3 sau pe 4. Și vedea ori pe 3 pe 4. Locul 1. Necunoscuți. Locul 2. Necunoscuți. Locul 3. Necunoscuți. Ba da, Sevici pe 3. Sevici pe 3. Da, pe 1 și pe 3 tot acolo. Tusi pe 4. De la 1. Mamă, Tins sunt pe 5 de pe 17.
Yeah, I'd love to kind of talk about
Johnny pe 6.
that started specifically today, okay? They are looking pretty good right now, friends.
Yeah, they're looking really good.
They've
actually points today now, right? So they've now overtaken, so they're looking commitments. You can see them on this west side of Misty. Yesterday they've been bullied by Andlex's team over here, but this is kind of stuff that they have to deal with in the early game, right? Notice that Queasy has landed up on the Guardian Tower near the right, which leaves Floki commitment to sit, so it's barely any materials really.
Dar Giurchi acolo și primul lui acolo, stânga și Giurchi acolo și slab. Nu știu cum mă gândit pe aia.
You see them trying to rotate up to the north, and this is what they're going to deal with. Queasy understands that they're going to take this rotate. He goes for the storm surge tags on them, and they're getting obliterated. This is already 50 of their shield on. But not only that, Arc Skill goes with some absolute laser eyes from this distance.
Mamă, 230 la distanță aia, nu vedea.
And Lex and X-Squeeze are all focusing on them as they make this rotate. So, given the circumstances that this team is currently in, the Floki Comet and Deceptos are in their early game, only having 11 chests, the fact that they have gained the most points today in the 3 games is absolutely outstanding in all the games. That pushed them up into 7 when they were somewhere in the 10 till 20th range at the end of day number 1.
Eu zic așa, dar de ce 2? Câte finale?
Este 1-2. Asta e finala mare. Ieri a fost finala mică, unde acumulai puncte, și astăzi le acumulezi. Și se adună punctele de și de azi, și cine are cele mai multe câștigă.
Deci ăla de pe primul loc, dacă acumul de puncte...
Uite-te.
Nu, 6 puncte de față și ia locul 2.
Ui, va de-al pe 8. Mamă, veră. Ba, nu că de comeback. De comeback. Pe 2, pe 3. Da, pe 4.
That's the big one, right? Where they were 13th, they were struggling
Veră să nu spui că câștigă să nu ce se nu memoria.
First game, and then in the other ones, they just really weren't able to capitalize on the rest of them, right? They weren't able to get the big games that they're known for. But now, the last 2 games,
Exact, exact.
they were 10th as well. So points that they've gained today have almost been more than they managed to obtain yesterday overall.
Era, cum îl cheamă?
Tons of games left remaining, which is crazy from them. Still in it.
Falcone la primul. Refagar, triul lui Sevici, e slab.
We're going to see those teams who now are going to have to speed up a little bit. So he can't being one.
Mamă, pe 15, a urcat la 20. A urcat de la 20 pe 15. Mamă, Benji pe 15, veră. Trebuie să stă mătură pe jos. Mătură, frate.
Generally, things are starting to shape up how maybe you would have expected, right? A lot of the top really getting involved, and it's making this finish a lot more interesting.
There's all these trios, man. I'm telling you, everyone has their eyes set on first place, and I like to see that. Now remember, we have another 5 games to play, so a lot of these teams, as now they're warm, we're going to see some very big changes happen in these next several games. But there it is. You heard the battle bus, which means we got to jump back into games. Let's do this one more time.
Da? Da, uite, da, să te duci, ascultă.
And we're getting the battle bus ready, and wow, Hadi, Eloclass, and Tripper, they're talking about a new name on the scene that's been developed, and this is not a surprise to me. Is it a surprise to you, Shia, that they were able to rack up a victory royale here in this final stage?
I think it was inevitable. I didn't expect it this kind of early. I thought it'd be kind of later, but they've been trying for it, you know, every single day. Walls to, you know, this point now, getting that win, upsetting height. It finally happened, and it might again.
Yeah, and this is what we was talking about. Tayson was going toe-to-toe against Elocrass during the last season. We're just seeing what kind of moxie that trio has in Tripper there. And they've been doing really well third-party into Steamy Stacks. But here we go. This is basically as if we're getting into it. We still have so many games left to go. So nothing is guaranteed. Do not write this game off. There's no champion yet that is going to be in the running. I mean, this is what's so exciting. That so many people are close. And hey, we already seen a big 50 bomb throw down by Aqua's trio. So all it takes is a huge pop-off game, double digits, and the victory round. And we're just seeing right here, it is possible as Buzz, who did make it to in-game, now goes down to side, which it looks like to me, it looks like
Bă, tu vezi că ăștia înseamnă la față în online?
Bro, unde vrea să sară?
Barely even landed yet. Beam down to 99 and respectively.
Și aia mea de până până în 3 minute.
They're going to be rolling Falconly, ZQ here too, Kaz is still alive.
E Steamy, da. Are rotate, da, are rotate ușor. Gândește că dacă intri așa knock și așa knock, ăla fuge. Are să fugă rapid. Normal bro, care are Q.
But like you mentioned, Stompy could hunker down, go into these basements, make it where it's not worth fighting, then they can survive. But just look at this. This is the pressure that they're feeling right now. They're electing to go ahead and disengage because they know what's at stake, because they're sitting in first place by only 5 points. Right there.
Îi pușează, normal. Ăla fuge. Și ăsta fuge. Stai prinde. Îi prost.
When it comes to Stompy, he's just used to winning games entirely when it comes to the entire trio on both sides.
Dar așa de la e pro.
It's kind of a scenario of competition over 8 games.
Uite care contest. Are contest.
Anyone here,
Da, să știi ce face la contest.
It feels like it's cooled down a bit. It's cooled down a bit. They're being measured.
The
intensity is getting up here. Again, this is the second game here.
Eu sper ăștia pe mine. Mamă, și ăsta pe îndreptat. Ok, introduci intrarea.
Gets greeted with a parting gift right there.
Bă, la chiar e prost.
The Malibu Cuz trio happy right now because hey, we just got a huge storm surge tag. We're just gonna keep rolling out.
Nu știu care. Ăla de ce pușează, bro? Dacă ea se întorcea, dacă trecea 3 se întorceau, îl veteau. Care scar. Acum care scar.
So a good identification there for Malibu to be able to just break away, go all the way towards the zone. I see that green arrow on the beach. On the bottom right of your screen, very close. They look forward, see no shots really firing. I don't think Hottie will come through towards Steamy this time. That being said, Savage gets to play. And on the other side, the Loot Boys don't. Zestin taking out Exterios is looking for the next shot to Hydro, might be in a little bit of trouble.
I gotta wonder here, it looks like this kind of corny complex has pushed Red Rush outside to mid-map, and that's into the chaotic arms of Hydros and the Loot Boy Co trio. Now Hydro and Back, you have to operate as a duo here. They're getting beams here from the people up there on that Defiant dish here. But Hydro Back being Zestin, they're getting to mid-game here. They're doing really well, but it is these risky engagements that they're taking that, as you mentioned here, instigating, causing chaos against people who just want to rotate. The Loot Boys are here to fight.
They want to get might come at a cost, but hard right now, so they can't go over with an Exterior. Hydro must have forgotten about the box fight he was doing right below current Larry. Gets a big tag, tries to get the whole way over. Down the last one in this trio. He gets the lead.
And so much pressure coming from those mountain rages. He went down for the high maneuver. Was hoping to get that hit with the pump. As Mappy is going to roll out here, but you're seeing a little bit more of adjustments are happening. Mappy and Stereos and Red Rush, I don't know, I gotta take a look here. Is Benji still up on his feet? It looks like so far, yes. He does get knocked against Sean, so Benji's been having corny complex knocked down, locked down in the entire
Benji nu e. Auzi, Casi.
I mean, they've kind of been making endgame out of this field.
Vreau să văd cine câștigă.
Și eu stau aici special pentru că vreau să văd cine câștigă FNC-ul.
Looking at the state of the whole game too.
Zandi joacă prost. Prost. Zandi se ia cu roșu.
Weeping Banii in them. It's just kind of a game of control, and a lot of people get to play at the same time.
Joacă prost, Zandi.
We just saw Weeping.
Nu,
See a lot of
joacă
people
prost.
getting into trouble in a lot of fights because they're battling for mountains, battling for position.
And this is zone 1, it is central. So if you're here, Dennis and Chapek's fans, they're up here, they've been making these rotations that go all towards the dirty dark side, and they kind of hook in every time they do that, yeah, they're getting a lot of eliminations. That's why they were averaging the most after day 1, but it really cost them the placement that they're known for. And that is a trio that's just slowly there. They're looming, they're in the shadows, they're in 5th place coming into game 8.
Mamă,
And you're just waiting
cred că
for
la scară n-am văzut
one
exact.
pop-off game and you're there. There's people at top of the board. They're being contested. Who knows? Hottie and Triple could get dunked on at Dinky Dish, or maybe they go for a third party. Revscar's being contested. There's Team Stacks. Kirachi may be contested with 7. So the opportunity is there for him, Dennis and Chapek, to win another FNCS championship.
Definitely is. They have to put in the work to get all the way back towards that top spot. Right now, they have a lot to do in terms of jumping into first. They have to be even more consistent than they are right now. For Pink to hold on to 186 points, that 10-15 point lead reduced to now just 5 ahead of Hottie, Evocrats, and Tripper. They're going to be going right past me to roll a little bit, attracting the attention of who must have won, and the entire trail eats another sniper rifle shot before it was Stompy. This time it's Pink. They don't have that many chances to work off of because remember, they disengaged, they never even won the entire fight. So all the damage they take, it'll actually hurt a lot more comparatively to other trios.
And Size Trio has decided to go from Rita Row over to that Defiant Dish where Ingram is. Ingram has not been doing well when he's contested, and we've seen this time and time again, even in the qualifiers and semifinals. So they're going to have a little bit more power against Stompies, as you mentioned, because they kind of retreated. They disengaged here, so this is a structure for this trio here if they want to hold on to that number 1 spot.
Mâine șanse mari să ne mă tastatura.
Still 4 games to go after this. Hold on.
Nu știu că la oricum, zilele astea, nu știu dacă Reason, e cu Tyson și cu Falcon Venom.
Să că mi-au mâine.
Și eu. Da, și eu. Oricum rezic că eu când mă apuc, eu nu mai joc de pe controller deloc, pentru că după o să-mi pierd și din tastatură și din skill de controller. Mâine... Da, a ieșit. A fugit el azi. Nu a murit. Nu a omorât, a fugit ea. Da, dar prostul ăla de râu, nu știu cum, nu Embreta și nici deci ăla a fugit după aia 3, solo. E prost copilul ăla. E prost, ești că ești tu și tu tot așa, te duci solo. Nu mă rog, nu, bă, dacă se întorcea aia clar murea, pe la asta murea.
Usually ramping up for something good. The only issue I have with that team right now is they don't have, like, you know, that big power game coming in. They've kind of been just in the shadows. They're picking up a lot of the scraps overall, but winning you, that one victory royale, that really puts you all the way up in the lead. Sai getting taken out. I don't think we'll see with the stomp right here because I didn't see the knock. They'll shake down, have a little bit of an
După aia voi avansa, încet. Prima dată să găsesc bandurile potrivite, după aia sensul potrivit și după avansez. Dar i-am zis, eu odată ce mă apuc, eu nu mai știu pe controller, gen deloc. Deloc, pentru că vă vreau ascultă. Eu în timp o să-mi pierd și skill-urile de pe controller și skill-urile de pe mouse și tastatură, gen, și nu fac nimica. Eu, mâine, deci asta s-ar putea să fie în ultima zi. Uite-l pe service.
Cu milioane.
Ai, la mine, cauza la Pink.
Behind him, the beam will come through, starts to farm up a little bit of metal.
Văd Blue Red Camping.
Two teams that really like the
Situation is getting thicker, the air is getting denser.
Super, hai, vă răscați.
Speaking of the air, again. Last time
Bă, nu mai scade ping-ul, bro. Ia stai așa că vreau să fac ceva.
Ai da unul everyone să intre.
Nu, gata. Iară urcă, 100. Nu s-a și blocat asta. Nu, bana iară să fac. Hai, vere!
Eu sper uivateal, cum își dă metri.
Și eu sper, ba nu, ba da. Always on high, ăsta.
Eu nu mai eu spun unul care spamează cu areu.
Getting towards the top, even yesterday, playing very good games, having wins. Thing is, sometimes if they're not going for those wins, they barely get points in the games they missed out, right? In the games they don't have power. So this next wing.
Vera, de ce nu mai scade ping-ul?
Acum sper să
Eu am fost așa.
Difficult when it comes to Savage, though. First EU team with a victory after rebooting a player. So a lot of the times when one person goes down, sometimes two people clutch it out. Never really get a teammate back and then winning a game entirely. Savage has done it. New form, and it's looking good.
Atunci știi ok?
Da-ți ok, dar vreau să fac ping-ul.
Ok.
Perfect timing. And they're still having trouble just confirming this fight.
Haymakers are just going back and forth on all sides of the map right here. It's kind of the same situation that we were on board with Revsguard here. Always on height, has the man.
Da, mă, da, Vadeal în viață. Nu ping, altceva am răzvan. 0 ping, de la 200.
It's just being barreled, stuffed, and out.
Da, mă, da, vă făcut kill.
Surprise, but Vidil, no scare tactics here. This man does not get afraid in this
player. Răzi, puneți-mă auto, că nu vă pleacă. Îți capul. În dreapta, Savage. Bă, Zan de murit?
All the way a second zone starts to close. Another player right above Savage. On the backside of Carlos, waiting for him to move. These guys have to go through every single trap in the game to just make it past.
Unde se duci, mă,
Da, unde se duci? Asta este pe scoar... Coe, uite-te dacă vrei, unde se duci ăla? Ăla se duci, Asta e la soluționarea altă. Trebuie într-o parte și
așa, ăștia dau una.
No, Vadal, de seara Vadal.
Ăștia dau
Vigentul! Best player, Vadal. Au făcut câte grele, au făcut nu știu câte grele, au făcut multe. Foarte multe, mai multe ca tine oricum. Ia uite-l. Vai, bă, că aia atâtea pede, pune-te pede. A, o pus-o. Așa. Bă, stau de aterizau în copac. Alo. Alo, dezmetit. Pământul cât te vei Vadal. Pământul, așa. Gata, acum aș demetit. Vadal e lângă Tusi. Cristi. Vadal versus Tusi.
Mamă, nu vreau să uit.
Da, Vadal n-are shield. No, e versus Tusi. Imediat se bate. Imediat se bate Vadal cu Tusi. Vadal câștigă. Versus Tusi. Nu, bro, Gambit Tusi. Bully nu are Riley. Și Aloyson Hai Iacua. Acum. Lângă Tyson. Ryzen e trio cu Tyson. Arată prima pe Vadil.
You talked about people being are getting a lot closer because I think Malbuka is making adjustments and pushing towards that dirty dodge area. Considering that he is they're going to glide on through. Hopefully no eyes are looking their way. Now you talked about the fire default out, so it's up to Saf and Puncher to get closer into the zone. What a great glide, no tap. But here he is. All eyes are feeling the pressure and feeling the burn now.
Is 70 de player, Răzvan. E zonă. Aici dacă ți-ai pus pe, ai murit instant. Instant ai murit. Nu ce cioară ăsta, ăsta-i făcut cu bazuca. Altul cu aici mare. Nu că Savage în dreapta. Uai, cât Savage. Tyson versus Savage. Tyson versus Savage. Bă, dar arată-mă.
Nu vreau să văd.
Uite. Cred, arată pe altcineva. Arată-mă în Neymar, că se bate și mai bun. Când se bate ea buni, arată-mă în Neymar. Mamă, ăsta e un V3. O, uite-te, ma, nu e șansă.
Savage has been eliminated. That is your 9th place team going to fight. It looks like Savage gets knocked by Hottie.
Savage gets knocked. Și-o lasă Savage knock. Și-o lasă Savage knock. Unii Savage. Omori Savage. Da, omori Savage. Omori primul Savage. Rip. E bătut Tyson. Hit-em de la Ryzen. Ryzen i-am tu. E bătut. Mamă, ce șmecher spune asta, mă, la Tyson. Și al Ryzen. Deci skill-ul lui Tyson e cel mai top, jur, îmi place. Și rămas Giannis vs. Tyson vs. Vadil. Nu știu care a bătut. Vadil sau Tusi. Nu știu care a bătut.
Overtaking and possibly right close to Kiriachi in 4th place. Pink Map Stompy all the way up in first. Also looking, this is going to be perfect game for them to further their lead. Have to deal with Aqua that was on a
Vezi ce să lăsar Răzvan? Ai văzut? Lasă vezi cum o să-ți ăla. Vezi ce să lăsar pe ped? Uite-te. Uite-te cum a murit ăla. Uite-te. Uite-te și la Hel. Și Hel moare. Uite-te. De ce să lăsar pe ped? De ce să lăsar pe ped? Uite-te. De ce să lăsar pe ped?
Păi da, mă, dar nu acolo. Eu spuneam că era când era
Dar nu contează, indiferent. Indiferent. Tot așa. Dani cu Hem. Cu Chapix. Chapix. Tyson. Tyson cu Ryzen. Și cu Venom. Ce ăștia potențial? Ce ăștia potențial să facă el? Că a murit să zici.
Ce carne de
A lot of information and a lot to say in third parties. Yeah, Tyson Vino reason, that's one. The second, I feel like it's going to be Dennis Chapman, who's just been looking for any type of play to make the entire time. The other side of the coin, though, the passive ones who've just kind of been waiting on hype, low ground or low ground, looking for third parties. It's Kiriachi, it's Aqua.
Ce carne sau ce?
Exactly what they can do. Stopping is also in the fold somewhere. Tyson Vino reason, though, they got to fly. Information aside.
Uai, cât ce? Doamne, care și că mi-a făcut pe show. Hei, dai un singur liv. Da, mi-a mertit pe mine să se duc aici. 144 de și pe FPS-uri. Da, mi-au eu. Gândește că aici cu PC-ul meu am 3 FPS-uri. Dacă se blochează filmul ăsta, gândește că se blochează PC-ul. Jură-te!
Hai că ce zâmă bună, unde?
Dar uite-l! Uite-l! Ia! Nu poți să te concentrezi de până aici.
This is it. It's time to eat. The dinner bell has been rung. This is your time to get fed and get your stomach full. Tyson Vino reason. We've been waiting this entire day. This entire weekend for you to show up, and right now you are showing up at the right time. But can't see are now in the front side going to get teleportation. But that's not being
Vai, cum de forjul, Doamne, țărească-mă Dumnezeu.
You're gonna carry this dude?
Cum filozofii de pe șancat.
Great elimination.
Uai, cât de forjul. Dacă ăsta nu e în game, așa-i? Nu e în game. Da, e open game. Așa-i? E mid game. Perfect. Parcă-mi Chapix a murit. A murit Chapix. Uite pe Zandi, uite pe Zandi în mijloc. Zandi. Uite, fă cu kill Zandi, fă cu kill Zandi, fă cu kill Zandi. 2 kill-uri a făcut. 2 kill-uri a făcut Zandi. 2 kill-uri a făcut Zandi. 2 kill-uri a făcut Zandi, nu pot să cred ceva. Fii atent că face eu Zandi. Blind Hen a făcut kill. Uai, ce-a murit Tyson. S-a băgat prost. Las că face rău pentru
Zandi cu 1 numai.
Zandi a făcut altul. Bă! Zandi câștigă, fii atent. Nu pot să cred. Uite-l pe Zandi în jos.
Zandi, e ăsta cum zonul?
Cred că e solo. E solo. Nu știu, hai bă, nu. L-a omorât pe Giannis. S-a bătut nemții.
Am văzut.
Giannis, Shiton.
Bă, Banii! Zandi,
Uite-ți pe Zandi. Uite-ți pe Zandi.
e cu 2, Zandi.
Da, știu, e full trio. Mamă, ăștia fac bine. Dacă joacă bine, ăștia fac bine.
Ăia de pe hai.
Ăsta e Storm, ăsta e mort.
Ce cu Zandi? Uite-te!
Ce ți-am zis? Ce ți-am zis? Eu ți-am spus, uite-l. Uite-l jos, uite-l jos. Uite-l mecur. Uite-l mecur. Jerky pe Zandi.
În timul lui Zandi.
În timul lui Jerky pe timul lui Zandi. Cine câștigă? 3v3. E 3v3 aici. 3v3. Zandi vs Jerky. 3v3. Hai Zandi. M-a ridicat în picioare. M-a ridicat în picioare. Hai Zandi. Hai Zandi. Și pe timul lui. Ăștia câștigă în show-ul. Timul ăsta. Da, Jerky cu ăștia doi. Cu Trulex și cu ăsta la alt.
Poate, mă, ăsta ce-ți
facem Zandi? Zandi câștigă la kilo. Câștigă! Giurchi mort! Zandi, uite pe Zandi. Și-a luat kill! Gigi-mă, mai strai. Da,
nu știu cine a câștigat.
Giurchi. Glorious Trollex cu Giurchi. Ba, aproape, mă. Aproape, era acolo. Numai că și-a pus gol. De nu spunea gol, murea. Îl bătea Zandi. Da, Zandi, bravo, oricum. Bravo, Zandi, oricum. Nice. Zandi, e top.
Tricky game. Usually we watch these guys drop it down, really go all throughout. When the zone bounces back like that, it's difficult.
I was sweating bullets, man. I was just like, not again. But yo, decreasing level will have more for us to break down and show us what's on the leaderboard.
Thank you guys so much. My goodness, please, these true like jerky, you're defending champions, find themselves a victory. It's only with 5 eliminations though. We watching that game. Andalex, 4-0 XP. They were eliminated there with 5 eliminations. Vino, Reese, like 7, bro. Now this is still a big win for true like trio, but is it enough?
I kid you not, I was so like...
Băi, eu zic să faceți mai mult.
I thought, yeah, and the shot is forever, it's gonna be 2 chokes, but...
Gen, să facem și cu ce se...
That's gonna be a big morale. As much as they had that shocking game, they have fought back and they have been still...
Gen, când o să ne cumpărăm hârsiuri.
It hasn't seemed to have affected them negatively, and now getting this victory is gonna be really good moving forward, but in terms of, you know, not having enough eliminations, it is one of those things, right? You just have to take the win at the end of the day, and I'm sure they'll be going into the next game trying to figure out ways where they can be a bit more aggressive on high, so they can get the wins they need.
Well, their playstyle is to get those wins as well. Last season, when they took Kite, had an 80% chance at winning, so that's incredible, right? Out of those games, take 80% chance. This season so far, that game-winning play there in particular was actually Jurki. You know, we saw him super low, we were watching like, where's he going to go? And the fact that he intentionally knocked himself to Storm and didn't give him Siphon was the play that made them win, because you notice Ziandi ended up picking up the finish under Trulex, which gave him that 50 more HP, and then
Dacă... Nu mă uita la topuri. Vai, ce perfecție. Nu-l vedea pe 8.
Pe 2 e Razer.
De acolo, cred, în spate.
Pe 3 habar n-am cine se ia.
Băi, asară ăsta în spate, pută-i.
Pe 4 Mr. Savage.
11 Jurki, s-a ridicat Jurki, că a făcut win. S-a ridicat Jurki. Lasă de atunci știu.
Yeah, well, coming into this game, they were sort of on the day thus far, right? In terms of how many points acquired, and they probably still after that game, right? Crazy the amount of eliminations they had. And look, this is the favorite Sancho even picked them right to win the whole competition, and they definitely have shown that they are one of the best teams, but it just wasn't right? Finally finding the fit of form.
I can confirm they are still first on the day by 20 points. Obviously, this is a cumulative leaderboard, however, but there are some stats that we want to look at, that we want to highlight from this team so far, right? We want to look at their elimination, displacement, the solo impact, right? This is all kind of split across each individual player and how it works out. But Payson, in particular, right? He has 71 ads before this. He's now got 21 eliminations.
Payson a făcut 21 de kill-uri, Raven 11 și Venom 36. 36 de kill-uri a făcut Venom.
And then Vino has the highest solo impact, being 33 points. So
mamă, vezi că care Venom. Am niște însă și nici Raven împreună n-au cât are Venom la kill-uri.
Da, disperare.
Ia, noi știu cum suntem aproape de... Hai, salut, salut! Barca craca. 1, 2, 3. Zandi, ce ai Cristi? Zandi, top 20. Cristi, eu zic că da. Eu zic că da, eu zic că da. Eu zic că da, că le-au ridicat. Chiar ai. Am arată și top 20.
It could be indeed.
Dar n-a arătat Meci, nu o secundă. Ziceți rapid de cine câștigă în următorul meci.
Dude, I don't know. Stompy's still holding down first. We'll have to see that we have a handful of games left in the season before.
Eu zic că Zandi. Zandi.
Jump back into all the action. So Sancho was shot wager.
Eu zic că Zandi.
Oh boy, we are definitely going to do our best to take it away. China and I were talking during the break. It's a marathon, y'all. We're still in.
Zandi câștigă. Ascultă la mine, Zandi. Are cel mai mare potențial românul ăsta. Ce-a făcut ăsta în finală, l-a făcut mulți români. Îți puțin foarte puțin români care l-au făcut finală ăsta necesar. Și mai ăsta e și locul 2. Era aproape să facă win. Era super aproape.
This might be the one where people start to make a few mistakes, and then that lower portion of the board tries to come up with a lead.
Asta nu e arena grande. Hai, Umbrella.
You just get a little bit wild with it. You make some desperate plays.
N-a cum trebuie să vezi. Să participi la event.
But if y'all need to understand, you're gonna highlight it, bold, underline it. They're here. They're moving up the board. And they just keep up the pace. I think this could be an opportunity to definitely get that. I'm not jinxing anything. I'm not saying anything. But this is it. It's on the line here. 3 more games.
Yeah, 3 more games and patterns are the same all across the map. I'm still fighting with Zebra.
Ce cu puști tot?
So not sure exactly what Edgar's doing all the way over there. It's a different fight. We're switching up some
vezi că nu la... Cum îl cheamă? Vena mi bun. Trio-ul lui Tyson. Și al lui Johnny. Al ăsta, al Raven. E foarte bun. 36 de kg de foarte bună. Potențial. Dar nu știu să te explice. Vreau să e bani, Zandi. Pentru că de-aia la măcește foarte mult. Și dedică foarte mult timp pentru Fortnite. Și este la un român. În creativ nu, dar în meciuri da. În creativ nu e cel mai bun. Pentru că au avut contest. Mr. Service tot timpul e aici. Ia-l pe Service. Uite-l pe ăla! Pe Rashford-ul ăla! Trio-ul lui Savage. Doamne, bă, ăla pușează solo. Ăla e nebun. Uite. Bă, ăla e pro. Nu, că stau și mă întreb. Omori Zandi. Da, rip. Omori Zandi. Dacă nu moare. Eu la reboot-ul, eu Mbeta. Mbeta a murit. Da, Mbeta a murit. Și Rosgard ăla. Imediat moare. Cred. Da, Mbeta a murit.
It reminds me, you know, those video game moments where you got guys stealth mission, like, okay, you try to be stealthy, and all of a sudden this chaos breaks out and bullets go everywhere, and you're just like, whatever, I'm gonna go full send into this mission, and you just fail, but now it's gonna be a moment to try to salvage that engagement here. And we're taking a look at other people on the board here who may not be in the running for the top, but it's more about Boyd. Their days is now with a capital F.
Da, hai mă spune asta. Voi de asta. Uai, ce vă să zici. Bine, acum. Uite, ia uite-l.
Bă, Service are desfăcat.
Uai, ce intrava de-al care e. Ia uite-l pe aqua. Uite-l pe aqua. Loc? Nu. Uite asta tără. O jucat, da. E ca mine.
Gândești dacă...
Da și nu lecineam. Știi când lecineam? Cristi.
Gândești dacă aici omor uiti te declara
Da.
And now may have an opportunity to send out our number one
pentru că ai suma pe transferare.
Yeah, lazy more right now a backyard.
Wow, ce murit ăsta, ce prost păcat. Combi.
Regulation wins at the end of the day.
Urât, omorât, urât. Că nu putea să intre de acolo, nu putea să iese. Hen. Henny in jungla, cu Johnny, cu Chapix.
It is Janice Chapix and Hen making that rotation finally into formerly known as Stealthy Stronghold. This is what I've been waiting for this entire time. I've been waiting, calling out day one. When are they going to activate?
Ăla, ce murit.
And I'm thinking it's because the trio is no longer coming here. Is Doko coming from Coral Castle is rotating through. I do think maybe Wings is those peak arrows. I like what I've seen. If they could get this done, that could be that freedom that they enjoy when it comes to those mid to end game rotations.
That's been tough for this trio the entire day. We'll be actually battling Hen, Janice, Chapix in this one too. Kind of overall 24th place, looking at the game so far. You know, there's been one second game they played on the first day where they actually really made it out of the early game. And DACA had a lot to stay.
Is this
getting held back. So many different teams.
Eu spre Wave,
Plecăm, da, ești cu un minut delay, ai un minut delay.
Stai că dau de 50.
Dar nu zic că e tot același play, tot același delay ăsta la ei.
Start to get maybe a little bit exhausted, they go for play.
E din cauza la ping, că am din mai mic.
Sometimes that plan B goes over.
E în 0. Bine, că și când se are ping mai mare, dar nu știu de ce. În fine, oricum nu știu. Dar e un minut delay.
Păi, înainte, atunci mi-am dat n-am avut delay și eram în aceeași.
Păi și acum ai. Asta e că, așa o să așa stai. Dar e că să dai lui de milion de euro, mai rămâne așa. O mai intrat cineva.
And don't forget, Doku, who's a great solo impact, is not going to go down easy. This man has about 9 different chances when it comes to locking. He's the cat of the finals. And now we're looking at Asterios in the top right, making a rotation. This is another zone that we've been seeing throughout the finals here. And that means we had a lot of home zones in day one for the Believer Beach trio, and they did not catch it at all. We talked about it in game one. They went to the south side of Pleasant Park, and they got easily eliminated because of Storm Surge, but we've seen them how aggressive they are. I think this is it. This is their time. They can move up and get first place.
They've moved out of home though. They might have the best zone possible for their POI, but they're not even booting it. It looks like they're somewhere all below those orange arrows at Weeping Woods, maybe looking for some engagement. Meanwhile, there's a random orange arrow all the way to where the stronghold, wondering what's happening over there. Flack and Kumu and Dog, your ammunition, trying to get these guys just absolutely fumigated outside of the low ground. I think that was a launch pad. Boys.
No.
Not gonna be there.
No.
Looking for the shots. Anyone towards the side. Nothing. And now Janice is actually broken down from the back. He gets shot down. Fucking Chapix looking for the chance. Pop out the fucking and lands it.
Oh, i-am trecut doar de mult.
Big shot, but it's not gonna land. He clutches up for the team. A 1v1 all the way down there. The Guild Falcon trio gets taken down.
Not just a trio, a champion quality trio gone, eliminated. In the early game, their rise slows down, but Flecken is one of those trios here in the finals, has not been an easy out. Every time they get pushed by the wing trio coming over into that, into Coral Castle, they survive, and talk about a great survival right in there, as now we go into the opposite side of the island. Eaglecraft, can they hold on? Third place right now, and already they've been in scrums with Indreda here along these rotations. What's going to be their plan here for Game 9?
I feel like they have a lot more freedom in this game. Top left side of the map fighting for so long in Storm. Tayson leaving Believer Beach and going south. They can basically claim anything they want on the north side. In 2 minutes, we'll see if the north side actually matters this game, or if it goes back down towards Swiftly again. This is going to be a free game, it feels like, for Trippin' Hottie Hero Class, where before, it seemed like they were always trying to play catch-up.
And I'm not going to notice as well, in the previous game, a lot of those third-party instigators were felt with a lot of force. You know, a lot of people were saying, hey, wait a minute. Dun, 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 dun.
Bine, dacă vrei.
Wait a minute.
Da,
One, two, Savage goes down. Jassie's right there. That's going to be a huge development that we're going to see if we get our eyes on, because there's another development here that's happening. Benji, Joe, and Shadow are going to triple here, third place, and now we're taking a look fourth place maybe in shambles here. But this is going to be an engagement that Shadow and Joe and Benji want, and they're going to take the fight here. I don't know, they know that Tripper's chilling in this bush, and if Tripper just moves any more out to left and right side, and I think it's just a little too scary for Shadow. As we like to say in the Latin community, the cuckoo is in the bushes, so he got a little scared and he ran away.
It's going to be tough for these guys to kind of find out and try to get any shots when they can't actually see where Tripper and the majority of the trio is. As they move across.
I was gonna say, can you imagine? No, it's not worth it. No, let's get out of it. Let's get out of here. Wow, man, I just can't believe that they were just more too confident in that fight.
Mamă, ce liniște s-a făcut într-o dată. Uai, ce faci cu liniște?
Let's go ahead and just get away from Red Rush. Mysterios here, kind of an interesting split. I've seen this split on NA West. Mysterio, one person hides in the bush while the other is based up in two duos, so they got these nice angles of crossfire that may be happening. Mysterios in Red Rush. One elimination, but looking at their opponents, that is for David. 9 points, pretty solid. Pretty decent.
Oh, space.
Se va a ver?
No.
You can see the different levels of engagement. We started off the entire tournament in the finals, right, so it was like a lot of box fights, a lot of close and personal things. There was about 2 sniper elims every single game.
This is
another option in his inventory right now. But from what we've been watching, game 7 actually, there were 10. It's just insane the way things are changing from the start of the tournament all the way up to now. People actually going for different strategies, mountain zones becoming a thing, over peaking a little bit. It seems like people are kind of getting a little bit sloppier, making mistakes.
Reese pointed out that the last time that Tayson and Vino and Reason, they were going to these storm surge spots, they were occupied. You took a look here, that Guardian Tower outside Believer Beach has been occupied by a trio coming from Coral, from the Purple side. So now, look, they in a new kind of spot. Normally they would be on the south side of the Pleasant Park, as I mentioned here, where they had their game 1 woes. But I like this adjustment here. They're going a little bit closer to the aftermath. Look at all the different areas they have eyes on. And hey, if they can get themselves even more normal storm surge, they're going to have those opportunities, like I mentioned. You got Cammy Station shot at distance. The other trio is sitting on top of the bony burps here. But I'm liking what Vino and Reason and Tayson are doing here for day 2 storm surge plans.
It's very good. It's very 360 degrees. Aqua, the deal.
Not surprised there.
They have their same kind of plan too. Just having the highest base possible, waiting for other people to peek over, and then getting their tags. But we've seen it throughout the whole day. Vidil and O'Reilly getting tagged down over and over again by sniper shots, getting overtaken as well when that tag happens. So you see the split now. It's Vidil and Aqua all the way on height, looking out of their base. No O'Reilly making sure he's got like the janitor down below. Everything is operating smoothly, and there's no trio sneaking up on.
It was game 2 that last time we saw a zone like this, but it was Vidil, Aqua, and Noah Riley. They didn't take advantage of it because they kind of overextended themselves too far south. They got caught out there trying to get storm surge tags. They took a box fight, and they got eliminated early, way before this juncture. So this is something that's going to be different for them here in the finals. This is another prime chance for them to get some big points on the board, because taking a look at them, they were in the top 3, and now they're slowly sliding down. They went down to 8, and they're still holding on to that 8th place. So now we're getting into this big advantage there. They have height. Saban is here, and I know Kiriachi's south just rotated in, so all those southern teams are on their storm lines, and of course now we go to the northern teams. Again, they kind of extended here. I always say this in Fortnite: if you let somebody go, most likely they will eliminate you. It always happens. It doesn't matter pubs, arena. It doesn't matter even in Team Rumble. If you let someone go, they're going to find you eventually. So that may be haunting to let that disengage happen from Benji's trio.
Sometimes it's going to not to fight, and it's not like they can move for free. We saw Tripper take a shot at the inflatable. We see right now Hottie still dealing damage on the car. So you know that these guys are trying to stay. They have a little bit of aggression still in them. They're not to be messed with for free.
All I'm saying is, I warned you. That's all I'm saying. I warned you. I'll put it out there. We're going to watch the feed. I'm telling you. Let someone go. I know. I agree. I totally agree.
Well, we'll see if Karma is in the way. There's always a little bit of feeling.
Not the player. Not the player. The overarching Karma. Yeah, not the player.
Yeah. The mystical side of Karma. So Trippy getting picked up, Hottie as well. Chonka tires in tow. Big thing about this zone is, really pulling in towards the center. Will be a squeeze all the way around the entire way, and height will be very tricky because there could be a mountain in the way, could be riverside. No one knows yet. A lot of the time, the prep for how the zone looks is done right now by a lot of these teams. With that still being a minute for what type of ending will this really be? Having a high base right now might not be the wave. Overbuilding right now might not be the wave. No one knows exactly what to do yet.
And Alex likes to be in that position that you see him on the right side to look for Storm Surge tag, uses that mountain backside to protect him here. But that position may cost him considering now there's more people that are sitting there. All these southern teams are not quite in yet. You can see a couple of dead side rotations happening here. Chiaki sending those beams towards that way of Red Rush, Mappy Mysterios. So far, no connections.
Now let's talk about Chiaki for a second right now, too. These guys used to be the Susu Stormy right in this tournament. The first place holders for multiple games. From day 1 to day 2, they've fallen down to 5th place now overall, right? Even Dilma Rally Aqua, 3rd overall, now down to 8th. This is going to be a redemption game, not for Dilma Rally Aqua. They get taken down in the feed. Maybe if it's possible for the analysts to have a replay of that. I mean, they're the prime time position. They had everything going for them. Noah Riley, I was talking about it. Working janitorial duties, making sure no one sneaks up, but I guess it might have been, I don't know, it couldn't have been surged. Something happened, and they went down in the game where they were supposed to come back.
You're seeing what happens, man, when social media barbs go back and forth. You know, a lot of trash talk was happening against defaults, and default now shows up, and you kind of talk the talk in-game. They kind of snuck up on him. You were holding down. That's a problem. You're holding on to a tower spot. All of a sudden, it's just one angle. 360 degrees. It just takes one angle, and all of a sudden, you get taken out here. It's a very tough fight here. But no matter what happened, we'll maybe catch a replay, but Patrick's out on default take out a big, again, a home advantage for them, like you said, does not count.
They like that pony burbs that is literally the center point of this mini-map right now. And they were so close to first place. Now they'll be outside of the top 10 after this game. That is insane to think about. Meanwhile, other teams, opposite plans, Squeezy, Jerky, Trulex, saying low to the ground, still utilizing bushes, saving their mats. Looks like they might go for another high ground take again. Who do they have to deal with, though, Santo? It's going to be the likes of Malabuka possibly going all the way towards height. Kiriachi's still here. He loves to do it. Aqua's not going to be there, beside him to stop him right now. Looking at the Taste and Vino Reason. You saw how ecstatic they were in fall week number 1, and at the same time, all the games today, the battle for height as well. That will be there in this type of zone. When we're looking at just Pony, natural low ground, height really dictates these games.
And someone here that's making an appearance is Floki Clement Mistuptos. They haven't been here much in the in-game, but when they do, they put in some points on the board as Nacho gets elimination unsaved here. As we're going to see, the Storm Surge sound has been alerted. We have Andelix sitting on top of this scrum here, and Queasy Trulix. That's what they love to do, as you saw they were shooting up in towards the top side, trying to look for a trip up there. Kiriachi just storming right here, on top of the board. All trying to avoid that trip up right now. They're in 5th place here. They're sitting down, putting under pressure on Reason. The defensive blueprint's out. Reason gets shield cracked. We gotta be a little too greedy, and Toos gets shield cracked as well.
At this point, they can't make a single mistake, and there is another from the backside. Edited down is one of the teammates, so it might just be Toos and Kiriachi left over in this box. Flurry right is in a world of trouble, and not even in the same box. Somehow is able to survive somewhere. I don't even see him on the screen. There he is, finally. He let everyone roll over him, hit inside the pyramid, popping that med kit. Zone finally locks in. They get it. They're on that side a little bit. They'll have a little bit more time to just wait and breathe. But man, things are so claustrophobic. There's like 10 trios beside their box.
I gotta say, what's happening right now is the reason why Kiriachi is so below Storm is simply because of that rotation. He didn't find any save it here. Floki doesn't complain. That's why they're being aggressive as much as possible. You saw them push into that fight because it is Storm Surge affecting Benji, Shadow, and Joe have been eliminated. They're gone. Trying to get polished up for day 2, trying to look clean up, but no, doesn't work out for them as now we have a new trio on hiatus, Trixie, Tenson, and Jackie. But that's just a temporary hold because we all know with Queasy easy in the lobby. They're going to be able to take that. But on the low ground, it's Falcon, Tasted, and Reason. They are climbing up the board and trying to find higher heights here on that board.
If they stay on low ground, the biggest hero to deal with, we just saw them on screen, will be Floki, Clement, Siptos. Reese called it earlier as well. They've gained the most points throughout the day, at least in terms of when we had 3 or 4 games played. Now with a few more, this is another zone they get to play, another end game they get to appear in. Will they survive the likes of Tayson? Will Tayson even go for height? I mean, those questions aren't even going to be asked yet. They still have to get into this zone. The rest of the north lobby side has to also come in. Everyone seems like they're reserving everything for this end game. There are no high bases. It's just like people in bungalows.
Kemi says he will be another low ground team that this team has to
watch out for. Așa vreau să vă știi, Jerry. Ia ce nu-i pe hai. Le cunosc, că-s normal.
So now we're seeing there's so many bases, so many catacombs. I don't even see a patch of grass
Nu, mai
in the center of the zone here as we're about to get to the first moving. And there's so many people kind of spread right down the middle that there's going to have still easy rotation. That means we're going to have a very chaotic in-game here on our hands.
Well, it depends on how many pads actually get placed down and who takes them. We go over all the way to New Land, towards the west side. Audi tripping Elocrats, no strangers to really taking height in that 7th zone. It's also the same game plan as Tayson, the same game plan as Squeezy, as Merstash, who's also alive. Jaggy actually gives up height to move across. No one has a high ground base. No one's controlling things. This is Aqua's old base. Everyone's just kind of waiting to see who makes the first move.
And we are all waiting right now for the time for the rise of Tayson, Vino, and Reason.
Nu sper că există de mult. Așa batem pe stack pe ciuză. Uai, ce a făcut ăla și a aruncat peste lângă. L-a omorât pe Tayson și a aruncat peste lângă și pe ăla e toxic. Meciul ăsta e ăsta, Reason. Mamă, eu adarez de Tayson. E gata. E gata. Reason câștigă. Și Reason câștigă și pe NCS-ul. Reason cu Tayson. Reason cu Tayson câștigă pe NCS-ul. Fii atent. Ei, ăștia. Uau, ce-a intrat. E rip Tayson. Așa-i? Da. Da. Și Venom. Uite-te. Păi da, dar uite-te că omorul s-a băgat în box cu 2. S-a băgat 2 de 3 proștii. Uai, ce pușează ăsta? Mort! Uai! Și face Reason. Neamțu. Păi neamț. E neamț. Fii atent. Da, și le cinem. Și le cinem. Da. Bă, nu mai zic, bă, și vai de alea cum în engleză, și Noah Riley, și Reason. Omorit. Ba da. Nu pe Wikipedia? Bă, nu, ce un control.
Uite. Two's defensive back towards the pyramid. 2 people in the same box, though. It gets awkward. He wants to be comfortable, but there's no chance to be on feathered footing. He gets taken out. Huge traffic people. Into the boxes down below. Floki the Siptos, they've made it this far. Still alive. Their classic style today is just try to be consistent, make these end games, and then operate as a 3-man firing squad. And there goes Koro, forced off a certain layer. They might not get the Elin, but they've done the damage. Clement still moving forward on the backside. This bounce back is going to give them so much time to work with. Cammy popping off in the feed. They take out Jaggy. They finish the job that Clement Floki the Siptos started. They're still beaming down these boxes. Another 2-man spread from Clement and Floki. The Siptos jumps in, goes towards the backside to actually make that base and claim some home in this zone. They're up against Steady Cammy Teak now. It's a big 3v3 on low, but Ban's there too. The Siptos down. This is trouble. It's just a 2-man operation now.
Two-man operation, and they're operating on fumes right now. The gas is on E as they're making it through. Camisette and Teak, a full trio looking strong. You have Clement on the front side, Diablo Bayan on the right next to them as Clement is now here. He's going to hold on with Floki. Clement, Floki on the low ground, using the chuck cannon. There is Diablo Bayan. It's a double battle here. Two duos on the pass going colliding here. Clement, Floki now crashing through. You're looking at the feed right now. Safik and Default pick up Diablo and Bayan. So now Clement and Floki have some moments here to themselves here on the low ground, but it's the full trio. Camisette and Teak colliding on through, and it is Default's trio racking in the victory royale with 7 eliminations.
Oh, Mom, she got money.
That's high ground, just textbook pressure from start to finish. Everyone waiting too long to do anything in that game, and it was too much for everyone to stay alive. Jason tried. We had Safik, you know, just drop down the pressure. We had so much stuff go down below. Steadicam Teak almost alive till the end of the zone. Just a good game overall from the CL-centric boys.
No doubt there, the 12th place team getting a crucial victory royale here as we're getting into that marathon there. We're getting to the end, and I just got to say, right, a lot of the names, they're kind of felt that. Like I mentioned, they ran out of gas. I mean, you saw right there, Reason's trio going down, you had the deal going down, Pen and Janice going down, Child, there's so many people going down, and they just need a replenishment. They got a pit stop, refuel, you know?
Hopefully, Teak with very good box dive in. I want to see what else we missed. What other dives? Zeke, Levin, and Reese, they have everything on that for this last game.
Thank you guys so much. I mean, you know what, Levin, Reese, I feel like the casters kind of set this perfectly for us, right? This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. And right now, I feel like the way that these trios operated their last game is Shy was actually exactly right. They waited too long to do anything, right? They waited that last moment, and in that moment, chaos was created. For Safik, Default, and Patrick, they waited. They're like, okay, all we have to do is hold this high ground. I mean, look at that. They had 40 builds left. They could have done this all day long, and everyone else is down at the bottom. They're just running around, chaos is happening, and they're just holding. They're holding. Like, okay, that's it. We've won the game. It's textbook.
It's funny you mentioned teams waiting too long to do something. I was feeling the same way about Safik, Yvonne, Patrick, where it was like, when are they going to finally have that high ground? And we talked about them coming into the tournament about how like they are one of the other teams who's going to look to play high. Finally got their chance to shine, and this is why teams want it so badly, right? You know, because you put yourself in these positions where you can win games like this. A great stuff from them. I think today overall they've been sort of middling. This will push them higher up in the standings. It gives them a chance for a top 10 position. But honestly, you know, like you guys have sort of said already, so many of these teams going down a bit early, but then you have some of the teams below them having deeper runs, like obviously Camisette had a good game, like the standings are going to be all over the place right now. I'm not really too sure what we're going to be seeing at that stage.
I mean, to put numbers onto it, right? Out of the teams who were in the top 7, none of them made it into the top 10. So none of the top teams who were competitors today got big points. And that's what I mean. When you're looking at Safik's team, who was middling throughout the majority of the 2 days, that just gives them the opportunity to pick up a victory royale and fly up the leaderboards, which I'm sure they absolutely have.
Yeah, there's some shakeups that are absolutely happening. We'll see those in just a little bit. First, guys, what's going on in that northwest quadrant of the map? I feel like Surge has been such an issue for the northwest side, but sometimes they can make this work to their advantage.
Yeah, and this is, we kind of caught this in the broadcast earlier, but I want to actually break down exactly what happens, because you have Art Skills Trio, you can see inside Stealthy, but you have Henjanis Chapix over here, and then you have also Kumu's team along with Flecken on this west side. This was chaos what ended up happening. So usually we're seeing Henjanis Chapix rotate all the way over into here and pick up a fight on a contested drop spot. That's not necessarily what happens, because you can see there's only a single team in there right now. You know what's see below Matzo's team uncontested down here, who have been pushed by the team in Stealthy so far. So this top corner has a lot of options what teams are doing, and this is just what actually happened. You can see chaos. Every single team has managed to push in to try and fight, and they have the same Storm Surge strategy. Flecken's team trying to push in and fight Expert's team at the same time. All of them trying to come in, and they just get this three-way, really awkward fight where they go tit for tat. They trade elimination after elimination overall, and it just becomes super scrappy and not the usual clean fight that we're used to seeing. You see from X-Kumu, who's absolutely basically just popped off at the end as well, managing to clean up this and definitely secure them some points here. But usually this kind of fight is something you'd see to be quick, fast. They sneak in and they have no clue what's happening. But from Kumu's team, because they ended up winning out, beautiful for them.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And as you can see, I don't want to say it's happening, but it looks like it's happening. Look, there's 1 point in it at the top, right? Tayson, Vino, and Reason lead by just 1 point at the moment. But boy, am I not, you know, I'm not too sure what's going to happen. It looks like the fourth time might be possible, but look, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's take a look at that next page, right? Because obviously just got, you know, plenty of competitors still, and we're getting later and later in. And Alex XP sitting here in 11th, and on the day, I believe they've been one of the best teams on the day. I think they've, you know, if you're just looking at today's leaderboard, they're about 3rd, right? And so the fact that they're still just at 11th shows they had a really bad day one, but they are trying to pull it back now, and that climb is still happening. There are still a couple games left, right? So there's a chance to do that.
Orkun slap.
The exact same thing last season, where I'm pretty sure they were somewhere around like 20th after day 1, and then they ended up being top 10. So they had a huge comeback day 2. So maybe Andalex's team, day 2 heroes from now on, and we could see them continue to fly up the leaderboard throughout the next couple games that we've got left.
Yeah, look, it's almost similar to how they did in the qualifiers, where qualifier 2, they come out, don't look good. Qualifier 3, they come out the best performance we've seen in the qualifier all season. So day 2 is clearly a great day for them.
Guys, this is crazy. I mean, if Tayson keeps this up, he could be the 4-time champion just by himself, right? This is Rex, Arkram, Epic Will from NA West.
Hi, let's go.
We only have 2 games left, so we'll have to see. I know, exactly. On to you. We'll have to see how this all unfolds. But for now, we're jumping back on the battle bus. Let's get into the next game of the FNCS.
Game 10. Here we go. We got 3 more left, and only 1 point separates first and second place. And what's on the line for Tayson, Vino, and Reason is a 4-time FNCS championship and new FNCS champions when it comes to Vino and Reason. That is what's happening. And you could really credit to that to Pink Nebs and Stump Me slowly sliding down thanks to ZQ's Trio's pressure here, taking the building. Shayo, game 10, man. Everything is on the line.
3 games. It takes 3 active games to change your fate inside the FNCS from 10th all the way to 1st if they're good enough. And now we're in those final 3, the 10, 11, and 12s of the 2 days. This is where things get really exciting. And yeah, you're talking about Nev, Stompy, Pink. Think about it this way, right? 9 games they've played so far, contested, and they're in 2nd place by 1 point.
Impressive.
We were talking about, you know, Hengenis Chapix being 6th overall last season, and, you know, kind of middling throughout the day in 5th, in 10th. These guys have held leads, fighting off spawn every single game. If that's not a statement, I don't know what is.
And this is right here. Look at this. They have gas in the tank right now, trying to dip into the last-minute reserves here. And this is what's the difference, though. Hengenis and Chapix, they fought. They stayed. They wanted it all against High Crescent's trio. They never really disengaged. But Neb, Stompy, and Pink going to go ahead and disengage, get back to the gas station, talk about it, that refuel that you're going to see right here. This is not going to be a great spot to find some as money's materials as they would have Lazy Lake, of course, but you got to give what you got to take what you can get, man.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to be a really weird take today for a lot of teams, because these next 2 games we're playing are, of course, the added-on games from the missed out ones yesterday. So a lot of the players right now are on their game 7s and game 8s. Stuff we don't usually see for players in a series. They have third-party experiences a little bit, you know, with playing 8-game formats, sometimes 10-game formats. He's gotten a little bit weird throughout the years, but now at this caliber of competition, at the top, fighting for that $300,000 prize all the way there for, you know, a nice 100K each trio member. I mean, this is different with stakes. This is also a lobby. You don't want to mess with every POI stacked. You know, people fighting off spawn over and over, mid-game being different every game. Sometimes the mountain's in the way. So it's going to be really different in terms of a vibe for Tayson to hold on. That was kind of scary, but it's all good. I was like, wait a minute, there's no name tag. There's no way.
You're there.
Talk about it this time, right? Sancho was really different before. They moved out of Believer Beach so fast when they have zone. This time, taking their time entirely at the pier, the hotel, make sure the whole POI is looted. They know once they start to move, lots of teams will be beside them. They can get easy shots when they're outside of zone.
And if this is your first time watching the FNCS broadcast, welcome. You're catching us on a hot one. But this is what happens here. When we start getting into the later stages of the game, we focus on the top of the board. You're going to see eliminations happen in the feed. But don't you fret. If a big eliminations happen, we will let the ops know and we'll try to get there as fast as possible. But for now, this is what's going to happen. We're going to sit here, watch how people are looting, watch how people are making because every single thing in these early games, matters the most. And now you're seeing Deceptus Clement.
Așa, Cristi vorbește cu gagica asta care urâtă ca noaptea, care mi-a trimis poză și urâtă ca noaptea, mi-a trimis poză cu ea. Hai, de viață.
Cine este asta?
Mamă, crede-mă că e invers aia, aia e din de-asta să te facă. Mie nu trebuie gagică bună în următorii ani, pentru că nu trebuie dau atâta atenție la...
Rămas să vă pasă ți-a.
Nu trebuie să atenție, nu trebuie să-i răspunzi la mesaje, dacă îi răspunzi, ne despărți. Uite pe Sandy, se bate. Dacă nu-i răspunzi, că ne despărți, că nu-mi dau atenție. Da, pula de eu. Se bate Sandy. Mai bine, uite așa, vezi, te joci și decât să trească să-ți dai atenție la cineva 247. Mai bine, single. Sincer, decât trebuie să dai atenție la cineva 247 când te joci în site, cu tot chip. Trebuie să dai atenție, dacă nu-i dai atenție, vă despărțiți, vă certați. Dacă nu-i răspunzi la mesaj, tot așa. Tot așa vă certați dacă nu-i dai atenție. Sau dacă nu-i răspunzi, și tot așa vă certați dacă nu-i răspunzi la mesaje rapid. Văd cu cine suntem. Ce?
Eu spun care conduce mașina.
Și eu.
Adișantele.
They're the first to try to go for that retake, or the second to push all the way for height.
Ai, ce să zice cu
They
mașina?
want to take things by their own hands. They're almost opposite beat of Flow becoming Deceptos, but are also having very similar ways of success. So right now, both these teams are looking to get even higher, looking to get into new territory or first and second.
Mamă, ce nume are ăla. Ce război, război mai bun. Și mapa. Zandy e aici, la fermă, lângă fermă, știi? În dreapta de la fermă. Ăia mov, nu. Ăia mov, de lângă Frenzy.
Am crezut că Zandy e roșu.
Nu, e mov sau galben ăla din dreapta. La Frenzy, la complex. De peste râu, la benzineria aia. Ăia mov, ăia. Nu galben, galben așa deschis.
Am peste tot între mergetai de player.
Da, da. Nu e cum. Hai, tu știi că cât aia strâmbă.
Nu e nimeni nu este, mă mir.
One of the components for this game set that I'm watching here is last time they pushed Save It. And I wonder if they were trying to look for Save It last time and they were unable to find him. That's what caused them to late rotate into Boni Burbs in game, and that ultimately cost them because they went down very early here. But Patrick Default and Sapphic coming out of Dirty Docks, trying to take a page. Thomas HD's trios play.
Hey, they're coming out of
Zandy, uite pe Zandy acolo jos.
Da, ce? Are o plecată la benzineria.
Looking really good in the way.
Da, de înseamnă că e red.
I mean, you know, every time they want to get a win, their next game not too hot, that play effect coming in, but it looks like with the way these guys structure their games, we saw this. I think it was either semifinals or the qualifiers, maybe even both. When it comes to their approach to the game, it's very consistent, more consistent than any other trio, to the point where they have height.
Da, mă, să banui trio scora din față.
They don't even go for more, they don't risk stuff. So
Unde era
this
din față,
early game,
Răzvan,
they
nu
might be
vezi?
the only
E din
trio with the
spate.
playstyle to
Da.
win. And then the next
Uite,
game,
uite,
they're
uite pe ăla
at getting another
Da.
that's the lead towards these last three games.
Sunt pe
Now we're
flacon.
going to Chapix Hit and Janice. There's only 3
Este hell. Ba nu, Chapix.
and the $1 million prize pool is all on the line that will be distributed. The lion's share wins $300,000.
Zic flaconul
Janice Hit and
ăsta.
Chapix have tasted the glory, have held the active champions
100,
back in
300.000 de euro.
2005,
100.000 de euro
making their
câștigi.
way back
La
to
asta.
reclaim the throne.
Da, e mult, 100 de euro, ce Lamborghini. Unde știi că cu bani? Da. Și poți să faci tu singur, gen de WAGER. Da, vrei să fii bun. Ăsta e acum. Austriacul meu.
Deci ăsta care sper cu picul.
Ia. Da, ăsta e ales, hai. Nu-i Vadeal.
Bă, bate pe Vadeal.
Ce îl bate, mă, nu-i bate nimeni cu Vadeal.
E cu el.
Normal. Ăsta cu O'Reilly și cu Vadeal. Bestrio.
Deci dacă ăla era, dacă nu era cu Vadeal, era...
Îl bătea, normal. Dar îl vedea oricum, dacă nu era cu Vadeal.
Asta are 124 puncte.
Dar nu m-am uitat la punctul Vadeal prostesc.
One more point on Aqua's trio in a second as we go towards Steady, Kemi, and Teeks.
80 de player,
There's a little surprise from these guys. They've kind of lived out towards endgame.
Am deschis mapa să văd că...
Out of any team in that 7th and 9th zone. I feel like getting there has been an issue. Kemi already taken out on rotation, maybe since zones entirely. Things are not going too well. We haven't had them as a focus during these moments on broadcast.
Vai, nu ăștia se uită pe PS4, ferească Dumnezeu că dau live. Nici nu mă joc. Fac un incendiu, dracu.
Is for some reason they have this bump in their timeline. The 5th zone.
Vezi că ai ultimul ping.
Something happens and it
Da, nu, am 0 ping, am 0 ping.
They need to fix that. They were second place at one point, now they're down in 10 because game after game they have really good positioning and then they just get wiped and we never even get to see how. Sometimes when we do, it's one person getting sniped, everyone's just taken over by Storm. They cannot make a mistake anymore in these last 3 games.
Eu sper o grămadă.
Și eu acum pe Stumpy.
Da, și eu.
Out here in the Defiant dish, going to begin Zebre, who have now rotated and changed their drops from retail row to here. And they may not have a lot of experience here at holding down
Uite, finalul timp 10 din 12.
Stomping Nebs and Peak are here.
Acolo.
Final game 10 din 12, da, n-ai meciul ăsta și încă două.
But firepower is not there.
Quick
Cutting
start.
into their builds here. Just listening here, you could just hear every step just feels heavier, a little bit more bassier, you know?
Yeah.
Mew almost got the shot there, but the wall quickly goes up. Defensive play, they're in a box-to-box situation, trying to break them down the ramp. It gets a little bit nasty here. You got to make sure your aim is true. A couple of misses from Pink. But Pink just able to hold on because he has Netflix. Saber there is going to come into this fight, but Stompy's going to come from the backside. But Claim, even though he does not have a lot of HP, he still can put on some damage into this engagement here. Zebra goes down, here comes Sai, and Psych. Stompy and Pink are going to pick back Nebs, and they get rewarded not only the loot, but also that permanent pad for rotation.
Yeah, kind of like that stat was foreshadowing this fight right before it started. Majority of the teams in the top 5, 4 of them, basically uncontested off spawn. The ones that just fought, again, have been conditioned since the start to have these pinches, to be aware and active in these fights. Taking that Stompy, literally 10 almost games now, having to deal with someone off spawn, having to deal with people mid-game. It's because of this resilience, this conditioning game after game, they're winning these fights so gloriously.
Yeah, that has been their lifeline, them just finding another like scavenger and landmark trio, and they take over their loot and they do it with the way with the weapons. So yes, they don't get the loot late.
Depinde, Abuf, da. Abuf, mai atâta mai trebuie să mai pe ca să înțelegească. Și mai e una, Abuf și nu mai știu ce. Above și mai e una care ai teste, gen.
Floki might be to blame the one for that because clearly
Amână, dacă am avut 400 într-un game.
in the top 60 and just look for any shots all around.
Trebuie să facă cumva să dăm damage.
Gun, but nothing landing.
Dacă nu levește Sergiu, că se activează. Că se activează Sergiu, levește.
Who's gonna make the first edit over? The first mistake?
Trebuie neapărat să dea măcar un snipe sau are.
Already the biggest mistakes made is the 17 team Savage trio out. That's the only one in the top 10 that has been eliminated here in this one of the last 3 games that we have here.
Sean VP, Andy out in the distance there behind Tripper naturally. Also very impressive team so far. shown us today that they can really handle whatever you throw at them and at least survive longer than expected, and sometimes even win and get points. Towards the end, a little bit of a type fight. I believe maybe 2x all around height.
Da, și nu dă. Să uită pe perioadă, vede. Perioadă de stop, să fie.
On day one, looking so controlling, effective.
Mamă, 400!
Ăsta caută flare, știi că moare. Că e de la shield, nu e de la shield. Nu știu dacă e de la shield. Dar nu cred că e de la shield. E de la shield? Raven, Eric, omorâ Raven. Veno e bun. Ar putea să facă 1 v 2 dacă ar muri Tyson. Și 1 v 3 poate să facă Veno. Mai ales Teno. Teno cu Tyson care și-a luat snipe.
Tyson încă n-a murit la mine.
Tyson și-a luat snipe. Nici la mine, da. Ba, da, a murit.
Am murit.
Da. Veno, acum aș vrea să dea mine. Trec.
Mi dă și la ăsta damage. Trebuia să dai acolo să...
M-a murit. Cine l-a bătut?
Cum l-a prins?
Da, prostul că nu și-a dat. Uite-l pe LGBT Buba. Prostul că nu și-a dat ăsta.
Prostul că nu l-a omorât pe LGBT ăla.
Da, prostul că nu și-a dat. Nimic. Da, cine-i Maps? Are 123 de puncte. Da, cine-i Maps? Nu ajung în finală. Nu cunoaște nimeni.
Dar păi și noi putem dacă ne vedem pe CERSIT și jucăm foarte bine.
Îți trebuie cel puțin un an de experiență, spune.
Mini.
Da.